A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all-old-time radio.
And now, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. The story is Turnabout, written for Suspense by J. Bennett. The thing was done, consummated. Sleep was now death. And nothing had marked the transition. Not a scream, not a gasp, nothing. Nothing but the dull thud the gun butt had made when it came down once, twice, 3 times. And then Walter Carlton went out of the night-filled room as silently as he'd come in and went home.
Oh, it's you, sir.
Yes, Robert.
Do you enjoy the concert, sir?
Very much, Robert. Make me a cocktail like a good fellow. Bring me a magazine.
Yes, Mr. Carlton.
He sipped his cocktail and lazily turned the pages of Esquire. Stopped at a Hemingway story, read it, and liked it. Turned a few more pages, then looked up and said,
Oh, Robert.
Yes, Mr. Carlton?
Pack my bags for me, will you? I'm going on a trip in the morning.
Oh, will you be away long, sir?
That all depends, Robert. That all depends.
In the morning, he said goodbye to Robert at Grand Central Station, then boarded the train and got off at the very first stop. Went back to Grand Central Station, got into a phone booth and called up Martin Ross, the district attorney.
It's good to hear from you, Walter.
I've been rather busy, Martin. You know how the stock market's been lately. How about you?
Oh, pretty quiet till early this morning.
Yes?
Police found some down and outer in a furnished room on the western side. Skull bashed in.
Oh, that's too bad. Martin, I feel that I've been neglecting my friends. So, I'm inviting myself over for dinner tonight.
Why, certainly, Walter. We'd be glad to have you.
Good. And have Emily trot out that roast duck and wine sauce recipes of hers, huh? Otherwise, I don't come.
You'll have your roast duck.
Good.
Be here at 7, Walter.
At 7, Martin.
Oh, Walter, you certainly can spin yarns. Just look at Billy. His eyes are popping out. Now, Billy, it's time you went to bed, dear.
But, Mother, just...
Now we let you stay up 2 extra hours, son.
Oh, all right. Good night. Good night, Mr. Carlton.
Oh, Billy,
Yes?
why don't you call me Walter? Uncle Walter. I think it's time you did.
Can I?
Of course.
Gosh. Good night, Uncle Walter.
Good night, Billy. Oh, this is ideal. Rustic seclusion and yet a mere 40 miles from the city. Ideal.
Yes, it is. I've always wanted this sort of life. Gets a bit inconvenient, though, when a case pops up and I have to be in town a lot.
Yes, that rooming house murder. How are you progressing?
Well, Emily doesn't like to hear about such things.
Oh, I understand. Tell me anyway.
What?
Now, Walter.
How are you progressing?
Why are you so interested in this case?
Because I am the murderer.
The murder...
Oh, Walter.
Walter. You're a car.
Meow.
What are you doing with that cat?
Meow.
Walter.
That gun. Walter, where did you get a gun?
Walter, what are you... Martin, wasn't this the way that Todd Blake was killed? Something blunt and hard brought down with force on the... Why, you killed me. I think now you believe that I murdered Blake. I'll be going up to bed now. And perhaps I should tell you that I'm sharing Billy's room tonight.
What?
Mm-hmm. The door will be barricaded. And the slightest effort on anyone's part to get in will... I'll leave it to your imagination.
Are you You wouldn't.
Martin.
No.
Martin, the first killing is the hardest. Let me assure you that the transition from cat to child is a very simple one to make. See you in the morning.
I can't eat, Martin.
Oh, you've got to, Emily. He mustn't suspect. Here they come.
Good morning, Martin. Emily?
Good morning, Billy.
Gee, but I'm hungry.
Like a man-eating lion, huh, Billy? Here, you sit next to me, huh?
But I always sit next to... Can't I, Mother?
Sure you can, Billy. Can't he, Emily?
Yes.
Over here, Billy, where I can keep a good eye on you, in case there are any tigers about.
Billy, eat your food.
Yes, Mother.
Oh, Billy?
Yes?
Billy, I'll bet my eggs are better than yours. Now, Emily, they're made exactly as I always eat them. You're a great hostess. Billy, how about tasting them for me?
Walter, you're not going
Here
to...
you are, Billy. Take the spoon, partner.
Sure, Uncle Walter.
Now eat.
Billy, no!
Mother, you hit the spoon from my mouth. Why?
Yes, Emily. Why? It's 9:30, Martin. Aren't you going to your office?
No.
I think you'd better. I want you to go through your daily routine as though I were not here.
I'm not leaving my wife and child alone with you. Do what you want with me, but I'm not going.
Get into your coat, Martin. Emily or Billy will be in this house at all times. And the first bad move you make will be their last.
How long do you think you can get away with this?
Until justice is done.
Justice.
Until the murderer is brought to the bar of justice and made to pay the supreme penalty.
What are you talking about anyway?
You'll be enlightened in due time. Now, get to your office. And be sure you remember what I said about bad moves.
What is it, Cobb?
I just got something on the Blake case. We've been pumping Swenson, the janitor. He's the one who discovered the body.
So?
Well, this Blake wasn't too nice a guy. He and Swenson didn't get along. Almost got into a fist fight one day, and then... Hey, you're not even listening to me.
I'm listening.
Well, Chief, I think you should hold Swenson for more questioning.
Let him go.
Now, Chief, let me spell this out for you. Swenson is the one who finds Blake dead. He says he went up to ask about the rent. Well, it's pretty convenient that rent day fell on that morning, isn't it?
Yes, convenient.
Yeah. Claims he knocked on the door, got no answer, so he takes out his pass key and goes in. Story smells too pat for me.
He thought of everything.
What'd you say?
Oh, nothing. No. Let Swenson go.
Oh, but Chief, we ought... Oh, okay. You're the boss.
And then what happened, Uncle Walter?
Well, and then the Maharaja said, Sahib, it is time for little boys to go upstairs to bed.
Aww.
Go ahead. I'll be up later, and we'll build the fort again.
You promise?
Promise. Now, say goodnight to Mother and Dad.
Good night, Mother.
Good night, Billy.
Good night, Dad.
Good night.
Martin, do you know that Emily hates me? Tell him, Emily.
Why don't you let him alone?
Walter, what happened?
Emily thought she'd become brave. Tried to dash a cup of tea into my face, hoping that would give her a chance to grab my gun from my shoulder holster.
Emily.
Stop it, Walter.
Unfortunately, I was too quick for her. I sent Billy out of the house on an errand and took the hot tea kettle. And that's why she's wearing a long-sleeve dress, Martin.
What?
Roll up your sleeve, Emily, and show him your arm.
Oh, I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
No, Martin.
Emily, let me go. Emily.
No, it's no use, Martin. It's no use, I tell you.
I think you'd better listen to her. It really is no use.
In just a moment, we will return for the concluding act of Suspense.
Welcome, recording star Mel Torme.
It's terrible trying to sing with a bad cold. So I always take 4-way cold tablets to relieve cold miseries fast.
Good idea. Tests of all the leading cold tablets proved 4-way fastest acting.
4-Way starts in minutes to relieve muscular pains, headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
When you catch cold, try my way. Take 4-Way cold tablets. A fast way to relieve cold distress and feel better quickly.
4-Way, only 29 cents.
Our program will continue in a moment after a word about another fine product of Grove Laboratories. To get rid of embarrassing dandruff in 3 minutes, change to Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. 3 minutes with Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep unsightly dandruff away forever. Apply Fitch before wetting hair, rub in 1 minute. Add water, lather 1 minute, then rinse 1 minute. Every trace of dandruff goes down the drain. 3 minutes with Fitch and embarrassing dandruff's gone. At the same time, Fitch can brighten hair up to 35%. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today.
Martin, I'd like to speak to you.
What do you want?
You're disappointing me.
What do you mean?
By not bringing the murderer to justice. I'm getting impatient.
You're the only murderer I can bring to justice.
You're wrong. Swenson could be the man.
Walter, I swear.
It could be simple to steamroller a jury into a verdict, build fact upon fact, invent some. Should be simple for one so competent as you.
Never.
Never is a long time, Martin. Death is also a long time.
I won't do it.
Martin, listen to me. A number of years ago, before I met you, I had a wife. I was quite in love with her. Todd Blake wrecked my marriage. He was never any good. I swore then and there that when the time was ripe, I'd kill him.
You waited all these years?
Mm-hmm. Waited and planned every little detail.
I'm not sending an innocent man to the chair.
Then I advise you to pick up that phone and inform the police that I'm the murderer.
What?
But when they get here, they'll find Emily, Billy, and probably you quite dead. Don't you see, you fool, that if I'm to go, then I'll go pulling the house down with me?
This is District Attorney Ross speaking. Have John Swenson picked up and booked for the murder of Todd Blake.
You're doing very well, Martin. Extremely well.
Why don't you let us alone?
But I'm complimenting him, Emily. All the newspapers praise Martin's presentation of his case in court.
Why must you go?
Motive? A bitter personal grudge. Weapon? A hammer in Swenson's tool chest. Fact upon fact. Oh, excellent, excellent, Martin.
Stop it! Stop it!
Oh, I'm sorry, Martin. I was merely commending your legal ability to build fact upon fact. You know, there's a brilliant example of that in Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment.
Raskolnikov had a conscience.
You're right. Therein, Dostoevsky's hero and I differ. Raskolnikov had a conscience, while I, the will to live. Therefore, John Swenson must die.
The defendant will rise and approach the bar. John Swenson, after a trial by jury of your peers under due process of law, you have been found guilty of murder in the first degree. And are hereby sentenced to die in the electric chair on midnight of February the 3rd in the year 1900.
Hello, Martin. You're home early.
Nothing much to do at the office.
Of course. Now, let me search you before you enter. Normal procedure, you know.
Go ahead.
You can come in now.
Emily.
What is it, Martin?
He's gone up to sleep now.
Yes?
Emily, there's a gun in the driveway hedge. I hid it there before I came in this evening.
Martin.
I'm going out to get it. When he gets up in the morning, somehow or other, I'll kill him.
Don't go out there, please.
I'm not standing for any more. I'm getting that gun.
No, Martin. He's too smart for it.
This time I'm smarter. He's upstairs with Billy. He won't even know I've gone out of the house.
He'll know. Walter always knows.
I'm taking that chance. I'm getting it.
Please, Martin.
Hello, Martin.
Walter.
Yes, Martin. Thought I'd come out for some air, so I opened the window quietly, not to disturb Billy's sleep, slid down the porch roof and into the garden. I think I did it better than Douglas Fairbanks ever did in the movies, don't you?
You've got the gun.
I have. You fool. I watch every move you make, from the instant you step out of your car till you're in the house. Every day I do it. Take off your shirt.
Oh, why?
Then I'll rip it off. There. Now I have something prepared for you.
A piece of rubber hose.
Exactly. It doesn't tear or bruise the skin, but will do an effective job.
Oh, you're a fool.
You want things this way? Good.
Get up. Come on, get up.
That's it. Now, get on to the house. Go ahead. You feel as though your back and ribs are broken. It's hard to breathe. Did it pay, you fool? In a few more days, I'll be out of your life for good. And now get into the house. Get in.
Martin!
Oh, Emily.
Oh, my darling.
Take him upstairs. Phone his office in the morning and tell them that the district attorney won't be in for a few days. He has a cold.
Hello, Chief. Good to see you back in the office again.
Hello, Cobb.
How's your cold, better?
Cold? Oh, yes, it's better.
You look all worn out.
I'm all right.
Swenson case getting you down? He gets the works tonight, you know.
I said I'm all right.
Oh, you can't fool me, Chief. Been with you long enough to know how you feel whenever you have to send somebody to the chair. You're too good a guy for this grind.
I'm a good guy, Cobb?
None better. Oh, Swenson's mother's in town.
What?
Yeah, it seems she got wind of what's happening. She was up to visit Swenson.
Yes?
Been trying to see you, but I had the boy shoo her away. Nice little old lady, about 80 or so. Feel sorry for her.
I don't want to see her. I don't want to.
Sure, Chief, I understand.
Oh, you understand nothing. You... Oh, I'm sorry, Cobb. My nerves are shot. I'm going home.
Take it easy, fella, huh?
Cobb. I want to tell you something. It's no use.
Well?
No, it's nothing, Cobb.
Are you expecting anybody, Martin?
No.
You, Emily?
No.
Answer it, Emily.
Yes.
And Emily, a few more hours and you'll be rid of me forever. Remember that.
Yes.
Tell me what the Maharaja said, Uncle Walter.
Of course, Billy. Now, when the Maharaja started speaking, I took out my gun, as I'm doing now.
Walter.
Merely telling the child a story, Martin. A story which may have a tragic ending. So, Billy, the Maharaja said to me, Sahib, I have never seen such shooting in my born days. Why, that tiger was a full mile away from you and...
A mile?
Yes, that's right, Billy. I was riding along on my elephant, Punda, when I saw, dim in the distance, the fierce form of the man-eating tiger.
Gee.
I unslung my rifle and started to adjust the sights when... Yes, Emily?
It's Swenson's mother.
What? What does she want, Emily?
To speak to Martin. She won't go away.
I won't talk with her. I don't want to see her.
Of course you won't talk with her, Martin. The way you are tonight, your tongue's likely to go off like a half-cocked gun. She never saw you, so I'll substitute for you.
I don't want to see her, I tell you.
Relax, Martin. Just as soon as you know Swenson's beyond saving, you'll be yourself again. In time, you'll forget he ever lived. Where is she, Emily?
In the living room.
Come along.
Uncle Walter, you didn't finish the story.
I'll finish it, Billy. All right, Emily. Just let me look over your shoulder into the room. Mm-hmm. And now I'll holster my gun, and we'll go in.
And Mr. Ross?
Yes. I'll just close the door, Mrs. Swenson, so we won't be disturbed. This is Mrs. Ross. Now, what can I do for you, madam?
Mr. Ross, isn't there something you would do for my son?
No, nothing, Mrs. Swenson.
But he's a good man. He did no wrong.
Oh, that he's good, I have no doubt at all, but he made a mistake. Surely, madam, one must pay for one's mistakes.
But he is a good man. He did no wrong.
To kill is wrong. The Bible tells you that. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
He's a good man. He did not kill.
But the law says that he did.
You threw sand into the eyes of the law. My son did not kill.
I only followed the truth, madam.
You can save my son.
I can't. Believe me, if I could, nothing would stand in my way.
Then it's no use.
Go back to the city, madam. May you find comfort for your grief.
I walked the road from the station with little hope. I'll go back on it with no hope.
Time will heal. It always does.
Time will not heal me. I'll go down to the grave with my sorrow.
Please, Mrs. Swenson.
I'll wipe my tears away and go. Oh, I can't find my handkerchief in my pocketbook. The tears blind my eyes.
Here, let me help you.
That I find this in my pocketbook.
Put down that gun.
An eye for an eye.
Put it down. I'm not Ross.
Mrs. Swenson, you killed him.
An eye for an eye.
You know what you've done.
Emily.
She had a gun hidden in her purse.
Oh, Mrs. Swenson, listen to me. You've saved your son, do you hear? Oh, you don't know what you've done. Emily, I'm phoning the president.
Yes, Mrs. Swenson, everything's going to be all right now. You didn't kill the district attorney. Oh, Mrs. Swenson, my husband will see to it that...
Uncle Walter! Uncle Walter!
Billy, come away from him.
Uncle Walter!
Billy, he's dead. Please, child.
Uncle Walter! Uncle Walter, you didn't finish the story.
Suspense. You've been listening to Turnabout, written for Suspense by J. Bennett. In a moment, the names of our players and a word about next week's story of Suspense. Are you all out of tune because you're irregular? Then help yourself get back in tune with Kellogg's All Brand. You'll feel right on pitch when Kellogg's All Brand goes gently to work. Relieves constipation due to lack of bulk by supplying your system with bulk-forming whole bran. Yes, a daily bowl full of Kellogg's All Brand with milk helps put you right back in tune. The natural way. The good-tasting way, too. Fact is, Kellogg's All Brand is the one brand cereal that combines proved effectiveness with appetizing taste and crispness. It never gets mushy in milk. So remember, if constipation's a problem, gentle it away, as millions do, with Kellogg's All Brand. The good food way to keep regular as clockwork. ALL-BRAN. Kellogg's All Brand. At your grocer's. Heard in tonight's story were Leonard Stone as Walter Carlton, Melville Ruick as Martin Ross, and Ginger Jones as Emily Ross.
Others heard in the cast were Peter Lacer, Larry Haynes, Catherine Emmett, Neil Fitzgerald, and Raymond Edward Johnson. Listen again next week when we return with End of the Road, written for Suspense by Alan Sloan from a story by Eleazar Lipsky. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. On CBS Radio.
And now, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
In a moment, End of the Road, written for radio by Alan Sloan from a story by Eleazar Lipsky. Back in pioneer days, they used to talk about the quick and the dead. The idea used to be the quick survived and the slowpokes stopped an arrow. Well, today things have changed. On America's highways, it's often the quick who are the dead. Haste makes considerably worse than waste, as highway fatality statistics grimly prove. Most highway deaths come from excessive speed and cutting out of line. It's possible to be killed by making a target of your car as well. It's possible to get into trouble by having a mechanically imperfect car. There are all sorts of dangers involved in piloting one of today's high-speed automobiles. But hundreds of thousands of drivers of all ages are proving that it's also possible to have an accident-clean record. Alertness, politeness, yes, common courtesy on the road, and a flexibility about changing highway conditions, these are true driving skills. These are the keys to accident-free driving, your only guarantees of survival on the rugged roads of today.
Hello.
Mary Gardner, please.
This is her husband. Who is calling?
This is the agency, Mr. Gardner.
Well, just a minute. It's for you. Sounds like a job.
Thanks, Willie. Hello?
At 2 p.m., high fashion.
What's the matter?
They will
My name ain't good enough for a cover girl,
head
huh?
and shoulders. But would
What's
you
the
bring
matter?
a
You ashamed of
gown?
me?
Preferably dark.
God,
Short
Mary
contrast
God.
dress. Preferably
You
not
mean
red.
Mary Liutenant?
Some
I'm coming along
well-highlighted
this Saturday.
fabric.
Here I am.
All right?
2 p.m., Elite.
Hey,
Dinner dress.
you hear me?
And as long as I have you, Miss Gardner.
Just a moment, please. Willie, please.
I said I am going with you.
Willie, can you wait till I finish this call?
Go ahead. I got all the time in the world, but I am going with you. You hear?
Miss Gardner?
Yes. Was there something else?
Yes. We just got a mother and daughter call for tomorrow. That'd be 11 o'clock in the park. Could you make that with Elsie?
What, 11 o'clock? Oh, dear, no. Elsie's in school then. And...
It'd be double rate for the girl, Miss Gardner, and it might make a cover. It's mother and daughter outfits. Hannah Troy.
I'm sorry. I don't want to take Elsie out of school. Thank you.
Now, are we going to get this straightened out once and for all?
Willie, please. I've told you so many times I'm not ashamed of your name. I wouldn't have married you if I were.
Then why don't you keep the kid registered Elsie Luciano instead of Elsie Gardner?
Because we worked together as models as Gardner before you and I were married. Please, Willie, I get so bored going over this again and again and again.
And quit, then quit.
If I did, you'd have to go to work.
Are you going to throw that in my face again? Did I try for a job? Did I?
Yes.
All right. Don't give me no buts. I do all right, don't I? I bring the dough home, don't I?
But where does it come from, Willie?
I bring it in, don't I? What do you care where?
Oh, Willie, can't we just drop the whole thing? Where's my bag? I've got a 2 p.m.
I did it 2 p.m. Now, listen. You mean we got a 2 p.m. I'm coming with you.
Not in a high-fashion job.
Oh, a low-fashion job. I could come along, huh? And watch them photographers pour you around. Give it a little pat here, a little pat there.
Willie, I'm warning you.
You're warning me. You're warning me. Now, look, cover girl, I got a message for you.
Willie, let go. You'll bruise my arm.
I get a kick out of you. Not that you're hurting me, but you'll bruise my arm. That's all you care about, ain't it? Your looks. Okay, if I don't go, you don't go.
Willie, let go.
Sure, I'll let go. With one right in the eye, I let go.
Let's see him focus on that, huh? Cover girl with a shiner.
Oh, Willie, you beat...
Sure. You said that's what got you about me. When I met you, remember? You said I was an animal. A magnificent animal! How's that, Mrs. Luciano? How's that?
In just a moment, we will return for the second act of Suspense.
Here's Hollywood star Mona Freeman.
Who feels like acting with a miserable cold? I relieve cold distress the fast way with 4-way cold tablets.
Yes, tests of all the leading cold tablets proved 4-way fastest acting. Amazing 4-way starts in minutes to relieve muscular pains and headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
When a cold strikes, do what I do. Take 4-way cold tablets. It's the fast way to relieve nasty cold distress and feel better quickly.
4-way, only 29 cents.
Our program will continue in a moment after a word about another fine product of Grove Laboratories. Does dandruff dull your hair, leave scalp itchy? Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo and get rid of unsightly dandruff in 3 minutes. 3 minutes with Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away forever. Apply Fitch before wetting hair, rub in 1 minute. Add water, lather 1 minute. Rinse 1 minute. Every trace of dandruff goes down the drain. 3 minutes with Fitch, unsightly dandruff's gone. Fitch can also leave your hair up to 35% brighter. Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo.
Make yourself comfortable, Mrs. Luciano. And you, Mr. Linden.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Haven't I seen you somewhere before?
On many a magazine cover, Mr. Morgan. As Mary Gardner, Mrs. Luciano was one of our top models.
Of course.
And as counsel for the agency with whom she's registered, we need your help.
Mm-hmm. I take it it's a matter of assault. The black eye, who gave it to you?
My husband, Willie Luciano.
Willie Luciano.
That's why we're here, Mr. Morgan. Unless I'm wrong, it was you who prosecuted Miss Gardner's husband on a charge of possession of a gun.
And convicted him, yes. Now I remember. You're married to him, Miss Gardner?
He's my second husband. Mr. Gardner was killed in an auto accident.
Mm-hmm.
I had a little girl and I...
Mr. Morgan, the man has begun to beat her, threaten the little girl.
She's only 6, Mr. Morgan, but he hates her.
Please, Mary. Mr. Morgan, Miss Gardner is planning to sue for divorce. That is, she is, we are seeking divorce grounds.
Just a minute. Where is your husband now?
He ran out of the house. It was 5 days ago he gave me this beating, and then he ran out of the house.
The man's living in a West Side hotel. We're investigating him for evidence of, you know the grounds for divorce in New York State.
One moment. This is a civil matter. Why do you come to me? I'm a criminal prosecutor.
The point is, my client would like protection against her husband.
I can well understand that, but...
Protection for herself and for her child.
But what do you expect me to do, Mr. Linden?
Well, we thought you might, as an assistant district attorney who has already sent him to prison, warn him to keep the peace and let the law take its course.
The divorce law, that is. Depending on what your investigators come up with.
That's right. Perhaps you might cause him to post a bond to keep the peace.
Mm-hmm. Have you told him you're divorcing him, Miss Gardner?
No, I was afraid.
Mr. Morgan, believe me, the marks you see on Miss Gardner's face are nothing compared to others you do not see. Her body is covered with bruises.
Well, I still don't see how I can intervene in a divorce proceeding in which my office is in no way involved.
Mary.
Yes, sir.
Tell Mr. Morgan, if you would, what you told me this morning.
About the fight?
About the threat.
Well,
I picked Elsie up after school, and he was waiting for us. He pushed her into the bedroom, and then he started right in on me again. I'll show you, he said. I'll show you where to get off. When I get through with you, you'll be a good model for one of those liniment ads, before and after.
He threatened you with continued bodily harm?
Yes.
And said he was walking out on you?
Yes.
But with an implied threat to return and do further harm. Mr. Morgan, don't you think it would be better to forestall a homicide than to have to go looking for a killer?
Yes, I agree with you. Very well. Now, Mr. Linden, I never want to tell a lawyer how to run his case, but pending the results of your own investigations, there is something I can suggest.
Yes?
That pending evidence of adultery...
Now, that's going to be difficult to obtain. This man likes to boast about women, we've discovered, but he has been very circumspect, meets them only in public places.
Well, I can go before a magistrate with you and support an application for a warrant of arrest on the grounds of abandonment.
Abandonment?
Yes, Mrs. Luciano, abandonment is a crime, a misdemeanor. And if it continues for any length of time, technically, we might be able to prosecute. But...
But what?
But all he has to do is to give the money for support, and the criminal charge is purged for all practical purposes. That's what these wise guys do when they run out on their family, send just enough money to pay the gas bill.
Well, then what's all this about?
Oh, he'll see me in court. It may have a quieting effect. Also, if you'd like to apply for a bond to keep the peace, I'll go along. I'll suggest high bail in view of his criminal background. And your husband will either fail or make bail.
Or be sobered by seeing that you have your eye on him.
Mr. Linden, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, my dear?
But what happens if he doesn't make bail?
He's committed to the civil prison.
For how long?
Until he makes bail.
Well, I'm no lawyer, but if he's in jail, then...
How can your investigator obtain evidence against him for the divorce? Obviously, he can't. The main thing is you and your daughter are safe.
And if he gets out, on bail, I mean, he'll come after me.
Not if he knows the district attorney is interested in the case. Well, we hope. In the meantime, now, this is entirely up to you, Mr. Linden. Your client can sue for a legal separation. It's not much, but it's something.
Mr. Linden, honestly, what shall I do?
Mary, I'd do as Mr. Morgan says. The main thing is to protect you and Elsie. We can take each thing in its own time. Now, don't you agree?
Oh, I guess so.
Very well. Mr. Morgan, is there any necessity of Mary's remaining here?
No, not at all. But you'd better be at my office here tomorrow morning at about 9:45. Court opens then, and we'll go right in there and make application for a warrant of arrest.
9:45. All right. Thank you.
In just a moment, we will return for the concluding act of Suspense.
Around the clock, CBS newsrooms are kept humming with a steady influx of incoming dispatches and expanded reports from correspondents around the world. The object, the one object, is to make sure that you are kept completely advised as to the constantly shifting pattern of world events. Hear each day's global developments brought to you swiftly, accurately, and in meaningful detail via CBS News on CBS Radio.
Just one question, Mr. Linden.
I know. Why did she marry him?
Mm-hmm.
Love, I suppose. Men like that have an animal attraction for girls like Miss Gardner. Beautiful faces, worshipped like goddesses by the multitudes. And nobody knows how long they wait by the phone for a date.
Mm-hmm. And a healthy young hoodlum like Luciano moves in.
Well, I'd better get back to the office. I'll have to prepare an affidavit for tomorrow.
Mr. Linden, would you mind a suggestion?
Please, I feel sort of helpless here.
A separation action can end in a judgment for stiff alimony. That's a pretty strong weapon when a man's trying to hide his means of livelihood. You might tell your client it can't be a blow-hot, blow-cold proposition.
I quite understand.
Point is, so must she. It's her main legal club over the man. Now, she's not obliged to let him back into the home, or there goes her case. As for having anything to do with him...
I know what you mean.
From now on, she'd be better off living in the YWCA. Otherwise, no case. But the main thing right now is to put up a legal wall between her and his fists. You were right. He might kill her.
I'll tell you something else we're going to do, Elsie. We're going to take a big, long vacation down in Florida where the sun shines all the time, and we're going to get twin bathing suits like the ones they took pictures of us wearing. And we'll go fishing and swimming, and we'll get so sunburned they won't have to use makeup on us when we go back to work. And we'll just laze around the sand all day. And we won't have to worry about what we eat. We'll just get fat.
Hiya, baby.
Willie.
Did you miss me? All right, kid, hit the road. Come here.
Shall we give her another 15 minutes?
You can stay here if you like. I have a case in special sessions.
Well, perhaps she went straight to felony.
No. I made it perfectly clear it was to be here. My office, 9:45. Excuse me. Morgan.
Mr. Morgan, this is Mary Gardner Luciano.
Oh. Yes, Mrs. Luciano. What? Mrs. Luciano, may I ask where you are? We said my office, 9:45.
I'm home, Mr. Morgan. I couldn't call before this. My husband just left.
He just left? But when did he arrive?
Last night. I mean, when I got home with Elsie, he was there.
How did he get in?
I don't know. I guess maybe he had a key. When I didn't ask. Mr. Morgan...
What did he want?
He wanted to talk things over.
Oh. Mrs. Luciano, tell me one thing. Was there a reconciliation?
Uh-huh. Shouldn't there have been?
Mrs. Luciano, that's a question you can't ask your district attorney or your lawyer. Only your own heart. Where is your husband now?
Shopping. For groceries. You see, we talked it all over, and we're going to give it another try.
Oh, gee is right. Women.
What's the story?
Same old story. When a lovely woman stoops to folly and finds herself deserted and alone, she smooths her hair with automatic hand and welcomes the prodigal husband right back home. By Morgan out of Goldsmith, or was it Pope?
I can't take as light a view of it as you do, Mr. Morgan.
What am I supposed to do? I don't know what went on last night in that happy little love nest, but if a girl wants to be a fool, it's her privilege.
But the man's dangerous.
The story is this, Mr. Linden. Has it ever occurred to you that some men have only one way of showing their women how much they love them, and that's by beating them up? And another thing, with all due respect to your sagacity, my colleague, how would you feel if Mary Gardner weren't a cover girl, weren't a raving beauty with honey eyes and deeper cheekbones, just an ordinary girl with an ordinary face? Would you think it was so terrible?
Oh, I'm thinking of the child. Now, what kind of a woman will she grow up to be, seeing her stepfather beat her mother up time and time again? I'm thinking of the child, and so should you be.
I am. But the mother's your client.
I intend to keep in touch with Mary.
I wondered why a corporation lawyer showed such an interest.
All right. So you guessed.
All right, Linden. I give them 6 months.
The question is, in this strange affair of a woman infatuated with an animal-like creature...
Yeah. What was the name of the fellow in that play, loved his wife and beat her? Lilliam.
Never mind Lilliam. The question is, at the end of 6 months, who is going to come out alive? The lady or the tiger?
Mr. Linden. Well, it's been just about 6 months, hasn't it?
To the week.
What's happened, Linden?
I have a very frightened girl in my office, Morgan. Mary. I'd like to bring her over right now.
Certainly. What about the daughter?
Well, the child is all right. She was at school. My sister is picking her up. But Luciano's on the loose with a gun.
All right, Miss Gardner, you're safe here, and your daughter will be escorted by a patrol car. Now, please go on with your story.
Well, that's about all. Just that when I found the gun in his pocket and tried to stop him from going out on this job, he called it, he hit me. He hit me and hit like an animal, like a wild animal.
You say he threatened to come back, and what was his expression?
Take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
He said he'd take care of me for good. Mr. Morgan, he's insane.
Then why did you go back to him? Why did you take him back?
Oh, I couldn't...
Morgan, spare the girl.
No. It's all right now. I'm over it. It was just that I couldn't resist him when he just even touched me. But it's all over now. I'm cured.
You're sure?
Yes. I'll do anything you say. I'll sign warrants. I'll go right over to the court. Anything you say.
Will you come with me to First Avenue and 33rd Street for 10 minutes?
Oh, what's over there?
Your husband. He went on a robbery job, a liquor store. The dealer had a gun, too. Bellevue is at First Avenue and 33rd.
When he's hurt, I know he's hurt.
No. The morgue is at Bellevue. I'll ask you to identify him, and then you can wipe him out of your life.
But you don't understand. I hated him. I hated him for what he did to me. But I love him. Willie. Oh, Willie, what am I going to do with us?
You can grow up. You can come to your senses and thank your stars somebody killed him before he killed you. That's what you can do.
Mary,
women.
Girl, please.
Brother Linden, take care of him. We'll skip the identification. I've got his prints on file. Women.
Suspense.
You've been listening to End of the Road, a story by Eliezer Lipsky, written for radio by Alan Sloan. In a moment, the names of our players and a word about next week's story of Suspense.
Out of tune because of irregularity? Kellogg's All Bran helps put you back in tune. Kellogg's All Bran is the natural way, the good food way to end constipation caused by lack of bulk in your diet. There's only one All Bran, Kellogg's All Bran. Its whole bran content gentles away constipation, supplies your system with the bulk-forming food you need. Kellogg's All Bran is the only whole bran cereal to bring you the combination of proved effectiveness, appetizing taste, and crispness. It never gets mushy in milk. So get back in tune and stay in tune. It's easy with the one and only Kellogg's All Bran, ALL-BRAN. Safe, reliable, pleasant. Millions enjoy it every day. They know they can count on Kellogg's All Bran to relieve irregularity.
Tonight's story were Bernard Grant as Willie Luciano, Rita Lloyd as Mary Luciano, and Nat Poland as Mr. Morgan. Others in our cast included John Seymour and Rita Sergel. Listen again next week when we return with The Mystery of Marie Roget by Edgar Allan Poe, adapted for radio by E. Jack Newman. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. On CBS
Radio 59 WROW, first on the dial.
And now, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Mary Cecilia Rogers was murdered in the vicinity of New York City in the summer of 1842. It was still an unsolved crime in November when The Mystery of Marie Roget was published. The author, Edgar Allan Poe. It paralleled in every essential detail the murder of Mary Rogers. Poe wrote it far from the scene of the atrocity, with only the newspaper reports of the day. Nevertheless, the subsequent confession connected with the murder of Mary Rogers confirmed not only the killer named by Poe, but all the chief details by which he arrived at his identification.
Good evening. My name is Dupin. I should like to extend an invitation. Regard first a certain event which truly occurred in New York City on a warm summer night in 1842. Secondly, I invite you to employ your imagination and displace that same event, intact with all of the essential facts, to a cobbled old-world Paris on an identical warm and fragrant summer night in the same year. Lastly, and most interesting, I should like to invite you to attend that event. It is a murder. The general design and mental character of the atrocity, indeed the first knowledge of its occurrence, came to my attention on Wednesday night, the 25th day of June. Who is the prefect of police?
I am, monsieur. Dupin?
Yes, monsieur.
Oh, thank you for coming, monsieur. I wasn't certain my messenger would find you. No, this way, monsieur.
Please.
Entrez. The lantern for Monsieur Dupin.
Oh, she died harshly.
Yes. Beaten, choked, drowned out. Yes, quite harshly, yes.
She was beautiful, monsieur.
Once, perhaps, yes.
Still. But Mademoiselle what? In life she had a name. In death she must also have a name. Any of you?
Monsieur, none of them know her, I've asked. But her clothes and jewels say she was known, Dupin. Good clothes, torn and disordered in her terrible struggle, but good. And the jewelry, not expensive, but tasteful. This woman, in my opinion, Dupin, was known.
And loved, Monsieur Prefect.
No doubt. Dupin, this is why I sent for you. I've been through these things before. The newspapers will write stories. Their reporters will make conjecture. Although there is no name for her now, there will eventually be a name. And then, monsieur, I will be called upon to produce her assassins. There is so little to go on. The eyes of the public will be upon me, and my honor is at stake.
And my honor, too, Monsieur Prefect, if I am involved in the investigation.
Dupin, listen. There is a fund at the prefecture, a sizable fund, which I am authorized to use when circumstances arise. For your services, I am willing to make a direct and liberal proposition. Dupin, you will help me to find the answer to this woman's death.
The foam about the mouth, as in the case of the merely drowned monsieur. Here, bruises, impressions of fingers. It was a strangulation. By hand. And by discard, monsieur.
Yes. The doctor.
The Suspense?
An ingenious knot in that cord, don't you think? This is a slip knot, a sailor's knot.
Sailor's knot. She was found in water. Why did she die, monsieur?
For her beauty, perhaps, for her love, her hate. It was Sunday.
Huh?
Observe, Doctor. There are no marks to prove she was weighted and then shaken loose. Yes, she quit life on Sunday. Murdered in the dark, thrown into the river, unweighted. Monday, Tuesday, she remained as a corpse, will on the bottom. And then on the third day, tonight, as a corpse, will, she rose. She was murdered on the bank, then taken out to her grave in a boat. And there had to be a man who knew how to handle a boat in the tricky current.
Who's there?
It is I, the prefect. I have someone who thinks he may know her.
Come in, monsieur.
Ahead of me, please. With your permission, Doctor, Monsieur Dupin, Monsieur Beauvais.
How do you do?
Monsieur Beauvais has been searching since Monday for news of a Marie Roget. Mademoiselle Roget is an employee of Monsieur Beauvais, correct, monsieur?
Yes, I am a perfumer. I called on her mother, Madame Roget, Monday when Marie did not appear at my shop. Madame informed me that Marie had left Sunday to visit her aunt at Roget. She has not yet returned.
I see. And what else?
Well, I cannot say, monsieur. So far, I have ascertained that she never arrived at Roget. And indeed, no one has seen her since Sunday. Not even Jacques Saint-Eustache.
Who is Jacques Saint-Eustache, Beauvais?
Monsieur Saint-Eustache is the accepted suitor of Marie Roget. He lodges and takes meals at the pension kept by Madame Roget. He was to have gone for his betrothed at dusk Sunday, and to have escorted her home. In the afternoon it rained heavily, and supposing that she would remain at her aunt's, he did not think it necessary to keep his promise. She has stayed there under similar circumstances.
And where is Jacques Saint-Eustache at this moment?
Searching and anxious as I am for Marie Roget. But where he went I do not know.
It is 3 days since Sunday. 4 days, really, but 3 that Marie Roget has been considered missing. Your search is tardy.
I know, monsieur.
Well?
I am at your mercy. She has disappeared twice.
Ah.
The first time she disappeared was about 3 years ago. Her mother or friends were unable to account for her disappearance. I was distracted with anxiety and terror.
Did you notify the police?
In that case, immediately, sir. But suddenly, Marie reappeared one fine morning after being absent a whole week.
So you did not call the police this second time she disappeared?
Well, what has happened once, it can happen again, monsieur.
What did happen that week she was away?
I do not know. I do not honestly know.
But you doubt the story of visiting a relative?
I will not say.
Show him what we have, Doctor.
If you will kindly step over here, Monsieur Beauvais. Now, Monsieur Beauvais, if you please. You know this woman, sir?
It is her! It is Marie Roget! Oh, it is her! Poor little Marie! Poor Marie!
Why does Beauvais cry, Dupin? The girl only worked for him. Ah, he has not told us all. He is suspect, Dupin, and I will have a word with him. Huh?
Stay.
But Dupin, why does he weep for a shop girl, a grisette who is promised to another?
He weeps for youth and beauty.
In just a moment, we will return for the second act of Suspense.
Welcome, recording star Mel Torme.
It's terrible trying to sing with a bad cold. So I always take 4-way cold tablets to relieve cold miseries fast.
Good idea. Tests of all the leading cold tablets proved 4-way fastest acting. 4-way starts in minutes to relieve muscular pains, headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
When you catch cold, try my way. Take 4-way cold tablets. A fast way to relieve cold distress and feel better quickly.
4-way, only 29 cents.
Our program will continue in a moment after a word about another fine product of Grove Laboratories. Does dandruff dull your hair, leave scalp itchy? Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo and get rid of unsightly dandruff in 3 minutes. 3 minutes with Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away forever. Apply Fitch before wetting hair, rub in 1 minute. Add water, lather 1 minute, rinse 1 minute. Every trace of dandruff goes down the drain. 3 minutes with Fitch, unsightly dandruff's gone. Fitch can also leave your hair up to 35% brighter. Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo.
Dupin again. You will recall the event we have been attending in Paris. I invite you now to keep in mind this solemn fact that Marie Roget died violently, that her lover, Jacques Saint-Eustache, is missing. Where she died, who administered her death, for what reason, remain to be known. Attend at this point another event, if you will, which was arranged by that zealous and righteous man, the prefect of police.
Ah, thank you for coming, Dupin.
You have located the lover, Saint-Eustache?
Saint-Eustache? Oh, no, he's unimportant, I assure you. Somewhere right now he drinks and tries to forget. But what I have here is important, most important. Madame Dulac, if you please.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening.
This is Madame Dulac. She has something of interest to tell you, and I have something of interest to show you.
Good evening, madame.
I have maintained this tavern many years, right here, close to the bank of the river.
No fear with me, madame. I have no authority to do anything but respect your person and your thoughts. What is this information?
I saw a young woman here Sunday. Monsieur says it was Marie Roget.
It was,
definitely. Just a moment. Sunday?
Yes, mid-afternoon, and later perhaps.
Where?
Right here in my tavern. She arrived accompanied by a young man of dark, swarthy complexion. The two remained here for some time. On their departures, they took the road through some thick woods, that way.
Toward the river, Dupin. And this is a secluded neighborhood. Oh, go on, madame, go on.
Soon after they left, a gang of miscreants made their appearance here. They behaved boisterously. They ate and drank without payment, then left and followed the route of the young girl and the young man, that same way.
I see.
About dusk, the same gang reappeared and recrossed the river in great haste.
I see. And you are certain it was Marie Roget?
Never fear. My men spoke with an omnibus driver, a man named Valence, who knew Marie Roget. He claims he saw her cross the Seine on the Sunday afternoon in question with a swarthy man who fits the exact description of Madame.
What else, monsieur?
I will show you. Come on.
I followed him through the back of the tavern into the thick woods which lined the Seine at that point. He stopped when we had come to a close thicket, within which were 3 or 4 large stones, forming a kind of seat with a back and a footstool.
Note, Dupin, a white petticoat here, and here a silk scarf, parasol, gloves, pocket handkerchief. Inspect the handkerchief, Dupin.
Thank you.
You note the name Marie Roget embroidered there?
Yes. So this is the place she met her death.
Of course it is, and I have found it. Look, the earth is trampled where she struggled, and over here, bushes still broken. Every evidence of a terrible struggle. And here, the fence has been taken down, and the ground shows that some heavy burden was dragged along it, toward the river. Come, look for yourself. Ah, what do you say now?
I am wondering.
Wonder? We have facts now, sir. Important facts. Do you recall a strip of one of the unfortunate girl's petticoats had been tied about her mouth, probably to prevent her screams?
I do.
This was done by fellows who had no pocket handkerchiefs. Miscreants, Dupin. Miscreants such as those who visited Madame Dulac's tavern, and later went the same way as Marie Roget and her companion. There are many such gangs about here. Now, all we have to do is locate them, and I know how to do that.
In just a moment, we will return for the concluding act of Suspense. Pepsi-Cola refreshes without filling. Why? Because it's truly light.
Charlie, you're forgetting something.
Wait, Kay, there's more.
Yes, ice-cold Pepsi is the delicious refreshment that goes great at a picnic or a party.
But, Charlie...
And Pepsi goes fast. People like it, so keep plenty handy. There.
Oh, you did fine, except for one thing.
Well, I mentioned lightness and how Pepsi refreshes and how fast it goes.
You left out Pepsi sociability. You know the Be Sociable song.
But, Kay, I can't sing.
I can. Listen. Be sociable, look smart, keep up to date with Pepsi. Drink light, refreshing Pepsi. Stay young and fair and debonair. Be sociable, have a Pepsi.
Well, at least I can say this. Pick up an extra carton of Pepsi today.
Please do.
That night, the shrill cries of the Paris newsboys proclaimed the prefect's resolve. He offered a reward of 20,000 francs and a full pardon for any king's evidence. It was an accepted conclusion that Marie Roget had been waylaid and slain by a gang of miscreants in the vicinity of Madame Dulac's tavern.
Well, now you defeated Monsieur Dupin, now that I have solved the mystery of Marie Roget?
No, monsieur.
I have doubled the reward. Soon one of the miscreants will come forward. Then you will see. 40,000 francs should be temptation enough.
20,000 was temptation enough.
What?
No one will come forward, sir. A gang such as he's hoped for would be composed of men who have never seen more than 100 francs at one time. 20,000 would bring all of them, if they had any knowledge of Marie Roget's murder.
They are just waiting, you know that.
Waiting? When each is in jeopardy because of the other?
Oh, we shall see, Dupin. Wait.
It was one man.
Huh?
A man who dragged the body of Mademoiselle to the river's edge. A gang, even two men, could have carried it. A gang would have lifted it over the fence easily instead of taking a fence down, as it was taken down. One man labored hard.
My conjecture is as good as yours. Are you talking of Saint-Eustache?
No, he is quite unguilty. Monsieur, allow me to point out that the newspapers, the police, all have identified themselves with what apparently happened. We must consider what did not happen. First, a gang did not set upon her and murder her. Secondly, Marie Roget had no intention of visiting her aunt at Rue des Drômes when she left her mother and lover last Sunday morning.
Dupin, if you have confidential information, explain yourself.
I have the same information as you, nothing else.
You said she had no intention of visiting her aunt that day. Why do you say that?
Monsieur, consider what might have happened if her intended, Jacques Saint-Eustache, had called for her at her aunt's and discovered she was not there, that she had not been there all day. He would have been chagrined, suspicious, angry. Saint-Eustache would have been all of these. Something for Marie Roget to worry about when she returned home. But nothing to worry about if Marie did not intend to return home.
A point to consider, perhaps. Go on.
Consider that she kept a rendezvous instead. This we know. A rendezvous with a swarthy man. We have been told by two witnesses who saw him. Now, monsieur, I ask you, as I have asked myself, did this swarthy companion allow Marie to be slain before his eyes? Or was he himself slain trying to help her? If so, where is his body?
He left her before she was set upon, obviously.
Did he leave her alone in such a dark district?
They quarreled.
Indeed they did. Another question. Marie Roget's death is known everywhere in France. Why has he not come forward to help us clear up the mystery?
For many reasons. Perhaps he's married. He has left. He is uninformed.
He has a swarthy complexion. A sea complexion. A well-attested fact. Now accumulate that with the cord that was tied about her neck in a sailor's knot.
Monsieur Dupin, I cannot...
And the need of a skilled boatsman to handle a boat on the river to dispose of the body.
But it could be anyone.
No, it could not.
Huh?
Marie Roget was a gay, not an abject girl, and no common seaman for her. An officer, a naval officer, monsieur. like the one who might have led her into a false elopement the first time she disappeared. 3 years pass, the approved time for a French man-of-war to consume encircling the globe. The officer returns, thinking of the same coquette, Marie Roget, the same bargain. What he has managed to do once, he can do again. Marie meets him Sunday for this purpose. Then she thinks the better of an elopement and refuses to accompany him. Saint Eustace has captured her love. Her former lover slays her in quick anger, and he drags her body to the river, commandeers a boat, and...
Where do I find him?
On whatever ship has arrived from the world cruise.
His name? What is his name, Dupin?
Inquire for the name of the young officer who has applied for leave to get married.
But there must be many such among a ship's complement returning after a long cruise.
Agreed. But, Monsieur Prefect, there is only one naval officer who has returned to his ship without a bride.
Entrez! Entrez! We leave at once for the naval yards.
It has been an interesting evening. And now I issue a last invitation, my friends. I invite you to retain all that you have heard and employ this time, instead of your imagination, your sense of reality. For Marie Roget of Paris was truthfully Mary Rogers of New York. Let your reality move you back to New York City on a winter day, some months after the event described, in the darkening afternoon, inside a gray stone building. I invite you to attend another event I think you will find significant.
Ensign Robert Bryant Wilson. You have been found guilty of the murder of Mary Cecilia Rogers. It is the judgment of this court that you be hanged by the neck until you are dead.
Suspense. You've been listening to The Mystery of Marie Roget, a story by Edgar Allan Poe, written for Suspense by E. Jack Newman. In a moment, the names of our players, and a word about next week's story of Suspense.
Are you out of tune due to irregularity? Then help yourself get back in tune with Kellogg's All Brand. Pleasant, isn't it? The feeling of well-being you get when constipation from lack of bulk is no longer a worry, when harsh, irritating drug laxatives can be thrown away. Because Kellogg's All Brand is the normal, natural way to regularity. Its whole brand content gentles away constipation, supplies your system with the bulk-forming food you need for youthful regularity. And it tastes good, too. Fact is, Kellogg's All Brand is the one and only whole brand cereal that combines proved effectiveness with appetizing taste and crispness. So if you're out of tune, help yourself get back in tune as millions do with Kellogg's All Brand. ALL-BRAN. Kellogg's All Brand.
Heard in tonight's story were Jackson Beck as Dupin, Bob Dryden as the Prefect, and Guy Repp as Beauvais. Others in our cast included Abby Lewis, Jim Bowles, Ethel Everett, and Ronald Dawson. Listen again next week when we return with the Radio Classic, first broadcast on Suspense, May 25th, 1943. Sorry, Wrong Number, starring Agnes Moorehead. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. On CBS
Radio 59 WROW, first on the dial, serving Albany, Troy, and Schenectady. Radio 59 times 5:30.
Suspense.
On May 25th, 1943, a great radio play was performed on Suspense and carried on CBS Radio. That now famous radio play has been transferred to other media as well: television, motion pictures, recordings, and the stage. The title was Sorry, Wrong Number, and it was written by Lucille Fletcher and originally starred Agnes Moorehead. We revive that radio classic now with the same star of 17 years ago. Listen then to Agnes Moorehead in Sorry, Wrong Number, which begins in 1 minute. Remember how much racket automobiles used to make? Time was you practically had to bellow to make yourself heard above the chatter and roar of the engine, the howl of the wind rushing by, and the rattling a rough road gave your poor old buggy and brains. Well, nowadays, with vastly improved automotive engineering and magnificent new superhighways, you literally purr along the road. Now, this is a vast improvement, but one that can offer danger if you're not alert. You're sitting behind the wheel, with the miles of highway unrolling smoothly before you. Suddenly, a sharp curve jumps in front of you, and you find you have to use the skill of a professional racer to navigate the curve without getting into real big trouble. Your car was so quiet that your speed had crept up stealthily during those long miles of straightaway. You were burning along without realizing it. The point here, a simple one, is this. Your speedometer was put there for a purpose you can't afford to forget. Keep alert, take care, and get there.
And now, Sorry, Wrong Number, starring Miss Agnes Moorehead. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Operator, I've been dialing Murray Hill 40599 now for the last 3/4 of an hour, and the line is always busy. I don't see how it could be busy that long. Will you try it for me, please?
I will be glad to try that number for you. One moment, please.
You see, it's my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I'm all alone here in the house. My health is very poor, and I've been feeling so nervous all day.
I am ringing Murray Hill 40599.
Hello? Hello, is Mr. Stevenson there? Hello?
Hello, George? Yes, boss, this is George speaking.
Hello, who's this? What number is this, please?
I'm here with our client. Oh, good. Is everything set up for tonight?
Well,
yes, George. He says everything is set up. Good.
What number is this, please?
Where are you now? In a phone booth. Don't worry, everything is okay in my department. Very well. You got the address? Sure, I got it all cased. At 11 o'clock, the private patrolman goes around to a bar on 2nd Avenue for a beer. Yes. At 11:15, a train crosses the bridge. It makes a noise in case her window is open and she should scream.
Hello?
Remember, George, make it quick. Our client doesn't wish her to suffer long. I'll use a knife then. Yes, a knife will do very well. And remember afterwards, remove her rings and bracelets and the jewelry in the bureau drawer. Our client wishes it to look like simple robbery. I know. Don't worry. I never muff a job like this. Everything's okay. I never...
Oh, how awful. How unspeakably awful. Operator, I've just been cut off.
I'm sorry. What number were you calling?
Why, it was supposed to be Murray Hill 40599, but it wasn't. Some wires must have got crossed, and I was cut into a wrong number, and I just heard the most dreadful things, something about a murder. And, operator, you'll simply have to trace that call at once.
What was the number?
Well, I don't know. It was a wrong number, and these two men, they were cold-blooded fiends, and they were going to murder somebody, some poor, innocent woman who was all alone in a house near a bridge. We've got to stop them. We've just got to...
What number were you calling?
Well, that doesn't matter. It was a wrong number. Now, look, it was obviously a case of some little slip of the finger. I asked you to get me Murray Hill 40599, who dialed it, but your finger must have slipped. And I was connected with some other number. I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me. Now, I simply fail to see why you couldn't make that same mistake again on purpose, why you couldn't try to dial Murray Hill 40599 in the same sort of careless way.
Murray Hill 40599. I will try to get it for you.
Well, thank you.
sorry. Murray Hill 40599 is busy.
But, operator...
Yes, ma'am?
You didn't try to get that wrong number at all. I asked you explicitly, and all you did was dial correctly.
I'm sorry. I will connect you with the supervisor.
Well, please.
This is the supervisor. May I help you?
Yes, I want you to trace a call, a telephone call immediately. I don't know where it came from or who was making it, but it's absolutely necessary that it be traced because it was about a murder that someone's planning. A terrible, cold-blooded murder of a poor, innocent woman tonight at 11:15.
I see.
Well, can you trace it for me? Can you track down those men?
I'm not certain. I can try. May I have your name, please?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Stevenson. But listen...
And your telephone number, please?
Plaza 37599. But if you go on wasting all this time...
Why do you want this call traced, please?
Why? Well, I told you why. These men sounded like killers. They're dangerous. They're going to murder this woman at 11:15 tonight. I thought the police ought to know.
Have you reported this to the police?
Well, no, not yet.
You want this call checked purely as a private individual?
Well, yes, but meanwhile...
I'm sorry, Mrs. Stevenson, but I'm afraid we couldn't trace the call just on your say-so as a private individual.
Oh.
We'd have to have something more official.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Well, all right, I'll call the police.
Thank you. I'm sure that would be the best way to get home.
Ridiculous.
The second act of Suspense continues in 1 minute.
Meet star Stuart Irwin.
Nothing's worse for an actor than a nasty cold. To feel better quickly, I take wonderful 4-way cold tablets, the fast way to relieve cold distress.
Right. Tests of all the leading cold tablets proved 4-way fastest acting. 4-way starts in minutes to relieve muscular pains, headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
Take my advice. For your next cold, take 4-way cold tablets, the fast way to relieve those cold miseries.
4-way, only 29 cents.
Our program will continue in a moment after a word about another fine product of Grove Laboratories. Had dandruff for years? Now get rid of it in 3 minutes with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. 3 minutes with Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep unsightly dandruff away forever. Apply Fitch before wetting hair, rub in 1 minute, add water, lather 1 minute, then rinse 1 minute. Every trace of dandruff goes down the drain. 3 minutes with Fitch, embarrassing dandruff's gone. Fitch can also leave hair up to 35% brighter. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today.
And now, we continue with Act 2 of Sorry, Wrong Number, starring Miss Agnes Moorehead. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Operator?
The police department. Get me the police department, please.
Thank you. I will connect you with the police department.
Oh, dear. You have to dial. Can't you ring them directly?
Police Station, Precinct 43, Sergeant Martin speaking.
Police department? Oh, this is Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Albert Smythe Stevenson of 53 North Sutton Place. I'm calling up to report a murder. I mean, the murder hasn't been committed yet, but I overheard plans for it over the telephone, over a wrong number that the operator gave me.
Yes, ma'am.
It was a perfectly definite murder. I heard their plans distinctly. 2 men were talking, and they were going to murder some woman at 11:15 tonight. She lived in a house near a bridge. Are you listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
And there was a private patrolman on the street. He was going to go around for a beer on 2nd Avenue, and there was some third man, a client, who was paying to have this poor woman murdered. They were going to take her rings and bracelets and use a knife. Well, it's just unnerved me dreadfully, and I'm not well.
I see, and when was all this, ma'am?
About 8 minutes ago.
And what was that number you were calling?
Murray Hill 40599, but that wasn't the number I overheard. I mean, Murray Hill 40599 is my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I was trying to reach him to ask him to come home. I'm an invalid, you know, and it's the maid's night off, and I hate to be alone, even though he says I'm perfectly safe as long as I have the telephone right beside my bed.
Well, we'll look into it, Mrs. Stevenson, see if we can check it with the telephone company.
Check it! I've already taken care of that.
Oh, you have?
Yes, and personally I feel you ought to do something far more immediate and drastic than just check the call. I'd say the whole thing calls for a search. A complete and thorough search of the whole city. I'm very near the bridge, and I'm not far from 2nd Avenue, and I know I'd feel a whole lot better if you sent around a radio car to this neighborhood at once.
And what makes you think the murder's going to be committed in your neighborhood, ma'am?
Well, I don't know. Only the coincidence is so horrible. 2nd Avenue, the patrolman, the bridge.
Look, lady, why don't you look at it this way? Supposing you hadn't broken in on that telephone call. Supposing you'd got your husband the way you always do. You wouldn't be so upset, would you?
Well, I suppose not, only it sounded so inhuman, so cold-blooded.
Unless, of course, you have some reason for thinking that someone may be planning to murder you.
Me? Oh, no, I hardly think so. I mean, why should anybody? I'm alone all day and night. I see nobody except my maid, Eloise. She's a big girl. She weighs 200 pounds. She's too lazy to bring up my breakfast tray. And the only other person is my husband, Albert. He's just crazy about me. He just adores me. Waits on me hand and foot. Has scarcely left my side since I took sick 12 years ago.
Well, then there's nothing for you to worry about. Now, if you'll just leave the rest of this to us, we'll take care of it.
But what will you do? It's so late. It's nearly 11 now.
We'll take care of it, lady.
Well, will you broadcast it all over the city and send out squads? And warn your radio cars to watch out, especially in suspicious neighborhoods like mine.
Look, lady, I said we'd take care of it. Just now I've got a couple of trunks here that require my immediate attention. Good night, ma'am, and thank you.
Oh, you idiot. Oh. Now, why did I hang up the phone like that? Now he'll think I am a fool. Oh, why doesn't Albert come home? Why doesn't he? Get the operator again.
Operator?
Operator, for heaven's sake, will you ring that Murray Hill 40599 number again? I can't think what's keeping him so long.
I will try it for you.
Try.
I'm sorry. Murray Hill 40599 is busy.
I can hear it. You don't have to tell me. I know it's busy. Oh, if I can only get out of this bed for a little while. If I could just get a breath of fresh air or just lean out of the window and see the street. Oh. Hello? Albert? Hello? 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 Oh, what's the matter with this phone? Hello? Hello? What in the world? Hello? Hello? Oh, for heaven's sake, who is this? Hello? 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 What in the world? What are they trying to do to me anyway?
Operator?
Hello, operator. I don't know what's the matter with this telephone tonight, but it's positively driving me crazy. I've never seen such inefficient, miserable service. Now, look, I'm an invalid, and I'm very nervous, and I'm not supposed to be annoyed. But if this keeps on much longer...
What seems to be the trouble, please?
Well, everything's wrong. I haven't had one bit of satisfaction out of one call I've made this evening. The whole world could be murdered for all you people care, and now my phone keeps ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing every 5 seconds, and then I pick it up this over there.
I'm sorry. If you will hang up, I will test it for you.
I don't want you to test it for me. I want you to put that call through, whoever it is, at once.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
You can't? Oh, you can't. And why? Why, may I ask?
The dial system is automatic.
Automatic? And meanwhile, I've got to sit here in my bed suffering every time that phone rings, imagining everything.
I will try to check the trouble for you.
Oh, for heaven's sake, I'm going to go on my mind. Hello? Hello, stop ringing me. Do you hear? Answer me. Who is this? Do you realize you're driving me crazy? Who's calling me? What are you doing it for? Now, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I say, hello. If you don't stop ringing me, I'm going to call the police. You hear? The police. Oh, if Albert would only come home. Oh, let it ring. Go on, ring. It's a trick of some kind. I won't answer that one. Go on, ring. Ring. Ring.
Act 3 of Suspense follows in 1 minute. At this moment, it's beyond mankind's capacity to guess what will occupy the attention of CBS Radio's Bob and Ray tomorrow night. It's possible they may be investigating such matters as the molecular structure of money, or giving the recipe for vulcanized bison. Perhaps distinguished correspondent Wally Ballou may take us via the magic of radio to the broom garage of a witch. Or we may receive a report on our feathered friends from the Bird Lady, whose discourse on the drag-tailed blockbuster recently created unparalleled apathy among bird watchers from coast to coast. Actually, you may not hear any of these matters. If you're courageous, though, take potluck with the boys. Anything they serve up is full of chuckles. That's Bob and Ray, weeknights at this spot on your radio dial. Laugh along, too, with Amos and Andy Griffith, and Burns and Allen on Comedy Time, Monday through Friday on CBS Radio.
And now, we continue with Act 3 of Sorry, Wrong Number, starring Miss Agnes Moorehead. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Ringing. Will you stop it? Just stop.
Hello, is this Plaza 37599?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm sorry. This is Plaza 37599.
This is Western Union. I have a telegram here from Mrs. Albert Stevenson.
Oh, well, I'm Mrs. Stevenson.
The telegram is as follows. Darling, terribly sorry. Tried to get you for last hour, but line busy.
Oh.
Leaving for Boston 11 p.m. tonight on urgent business.
Oh, no.
Back tomorrow afternoon. Keep happy. Love, signed Albert.
Oh, no.
Do you wish us to deliver a copy of the message?
No, no, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Good night.
Good night. Oh, no. I don't believe it. He couldn't do it. Not when he knows I'll be all alone. It's some fiendish trick. Operator, try that Murray Hill 40599 number for me just once more, please.
You may dial that number direct.
Oh, I can't. No one will do anything for me. Oh, he's got to be there. Oh, he's gone. Oh, Albert, how could you? How could you? I can't be alone tonight. I just can't. If I'm alone one more second, I'll go mad. I don't care what he says or what the expense is. I'm a sick woman. I'm entitled to a little consideration. Information. I want the telephone number of Henchley Hospital.
Henchley Hospital? Do you have the street address?
No, but it's somewhere in the 70s. It's a very small, private, and exclusive hospital where I had my appendix out 2 years ago. Henchley, H-E-N-C.
One moment, please.
Well, please hurry. And please, what is the time?
You may find out the time by dialing Meridian 71212.
Oh, for heaven's sake, I've no time to be dialing.
The Henchley Hospital is Butterfield 8.
Butterfield?
2598.
Oh. Butterfield. 8. 2. 5. 9. 8. Oh.
Henchley Hospital, good evening.
Nurses registry, please.
Who was it you wished to speak to, please?
I want the nurses registry at once. I want a trained nurse. I want to hire her immediately for the night.
I see. And what is the nature of the case, madam?
Nerves! I'm very nervous. I need soothing and companionship. You see, my husband is away.
Have you been recommended to us by any doctor in particular, madam?
No.
And our superintendent has asked us to send people out only in those cases where the physician in charge feels it is absolutely necessary.
Well, it is absolutely necessary. I'm a sick woman. I'm very upset. I'm alone in this house, and I'm an invalid. And tonight I overheard a telephone conversation that upset me dreadfully. In fact, if someone doesn't come at once, I'm afraid I'll go out of my mind.
I see. Well, I'll speak to Miss Phillips as soon as she comes in.
Miss Phillips?
And what is your name, madam?
When do you expect her in?
Well, I really couldn't say. She went out to supper at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock? But it's not 11 yet. Where's my clock? Oh, my clock has stopped. Oh, what time is it?
Just 15 minutes past 11.
Oh, what was that?
What, madam?
That click. Just telephone. As though someone has lifted the receiver off the hook of the extension phone downstairs.
I didn't hear it, madam. Now about...
But I did! There's someone in this house. Someone downstairs in the kitchen, and they're listening to me now. I won't pick it up. I won't let them hear me. I'll be quiet when they're melting. But if I don't call someone now, while they're still down there, there'll be no time. I've got to get the operator. I've got to get the operator.
Operator?
Operator, I'm in desperate trouble.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. Please speak louder.
I don't dare. There's someone listening. Can you hear me now?
I'm sorry.
But you've got to hear me. Oh, please, you've got to help me. There's someone in this house. Someone who's going to murder me, and you've got to get in touch with him. There it is. Did you hear it? He's put it down. He's put down the extension phone. He's coming up. He's coming up the stairs. Oh, give me the police department. Give me the police department.
One moment, please. I will connect you.
Please. Get the police. We've got to hurry. Get the police. What do you want? Oh, don't come near me. Please, I haven't hurt anybody. Please, please don't hurt me. Please, I haven't done anything.
Police Department, Precinct 43, Sergeant Martin speaking. Police Department, Precinct 43, Sergeant Martin speaking.
Police Department? Sorry, wrong number. Don't worry, everything is okay here.
Suspense. In which Miss Agnes Moorehead starred in William N. Robeson's production of Sorry, Wrong Number, written by Lucille Fletcher. In a moment, the names of our supporting players and a word about next week's story of Suspense.
Are you all out of tune because you're irregular? Then help yourself get back in tune with Kellogg's All Brand. You'll feel right on pitch when Kellogg's All Brand goes gently to work. Relieves constipation due to lack of bulk by supplying your system with bulk-forming whole bran. Yes, a daily bowlful of Kellogg's All Bran with milk helps put you right back in tune. The natural way. The good-tasting way, too. Fact is, Kellogg's All Bran is the one brand cereal that combines proved effectiveness with appetizing taste and crispness. It never gets mushy in milk. So remember, if constipation's a problem, gentle it away, as millions do, with Kellogg's All Bran. The good food way to keep regular as clockwork. ALL-BRAN. Kellogg's All Bran. At your grocer's.
Supporting Miss Moorehead in Sorry, Wrong Number were Jeanette Nolan, Virginia Gregg, Ellen Morgan, Joe DeSantis, Byron Kane, and Norm Alden.
Listen again next week when we return with The Crank Letter by Walter Black, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. Listen every week to Suspense on
another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. Have you ever received a letter threatening your life? And if you did, what did you do about it? Well, let's find out what Dr. Fraser did as we listen to Crank Letter, written for Suspense by Walter Black.
Dr. Fraser speaking.
Hi, Doc. Paul Neiman over at Homicide.
Oh, you believe in telepathy, Lieutenant?
Big pardon?
Well, I was just about to pick up the phone to call you.
Oh. Well, I guess the department must have notified you, huh?
Notified me about what?
My yearly physical checkup. Isn't that what you meant?
No. No, you see, I got a letter, and I wanted to talk to you about it. Could I drop in later today?
Well, sure, if you want. But can't it wait until I come by for my checkup? Save you a trip.
Well, I guess it can wait. Let me see. Can you come in at 4 today?
Yes, I can. I'll see you then, Doc.
Yeah, Lieutenant.
Yes?
Now, the outer door will be locked. So just call out and I'll let you in. You can put your shirt back on now, Lieutenant.
Okay. Well, what's the verdict?
Oh, you're as sound as a pre-war dollar. Although if I were you, I'd take off a couple of pounds around the middle.
Well, I keep telling myself I will, but when it comes to my wife's cooking, I got all the willpower of a jellyfish. All right, Doc. Now it's your turn. You mentioned the letter.
Yes. Yes, here. Read it.
You quacks are all alike, murderers. Honest people aren't safe from butchers like you. If the law won't punish you, I will, the avenger. Well, she went to a lot of trouble, didn't she? Cut out all the letters from a magazine.
She?
Well, reads like a woman. Could be a man, of course. I suppose you've handled this, haven't you?
Well, you mean fingerprints?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, I guess so. I didn't know what it was, of course.
Well, it doesn't matter, Doc. She probably wore gloves. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
You wouldn't worry about it. No, it's not addressed to you.
No. Take it easy. I only meant... Well, we get hundreds of poison pen stuff like this every year. 99% of them turn out to be crank letters.
And the other 1%, Lieutenant, what do they turn out to be?
You know of anyone who might have a grudge against you, Doctor?
No.
There's no reason at all for anyone to hate you, is that right?
Well, there's no rational reason, no.
I said no reason at all.
Well, it isn't really a reason.
Let me be the judge, huh?
Well, all right. It happened last week. I was performing an operation on an elderly patient in his 70s. Now, his heart failed on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everything possible was done for him, but it wasn't any use. He died. Anyway, it's been on my mind. I feel terrible about it.
Guilty?
No. Why should I feel guilty? It happens sometimes, no reason.
Just asking, Doctor. The man who died, what was his name?
Gilbert. Joseph Gilbert.
Any relatives?
He lived with a son.
Name?
Well, I don't... Oh, wait a minute. I probably have it on his records. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, Frederick Gilbert, 210 South Oak Lane.
Mm-hmm. Ever meet him?
Yes, once.
What's he like?
Well, he's big and burly.
He what?
Well, it was after his father died. He threatened to hit me. He had to be restrained by some hospital attendants.
Mm-hmm.
You think he wrote this letter?
Nope. I think it's just what I said it was, a crank letter. Beating you up sounds more like his type. I'm pretty sure it'll turn out to be just another crank.
Yeah? Excuse me, Lieutenant, but there's a Dr. Donald Fraser outside, so he has to see you. Says it's important.
Okay, send him in, Evans.
Yes, sir. You can go on in.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I'm sorry to bother you, Lieutenant, but...
It's no bother at all, Doc. What's on your mind?
This. Came in the morning mail. Well, go on, read it.
All right. Why don't you sit down and relax?
Yeah, relax. I'm too nervous, if you must know.
Well, suit yourself. You killed him. You and I know it, even if nobody else does. Your turn is next.
Well, is that all you can say?
Cheap grade of paper and no signature. You killed him. You think this refers to that patient of yours?
What else can I think? Look, I'm not normally a very excitable person, Lieutenant, but this has got me...
Scared?
Yes. Scared? Can you understand that? Or don't policemen ever get scared?
Sure we do. Often. Send Evans in.
Oh, and what am I supposed to do now? Walk out of here and go about my business? Is that it? I'm scared, Neiman. I'm scared sick. Now, does that penetrate? I want protection, and don't give me any more of this crank letter routine either. This thing is genuine. I can feel it.
I think you're right, Don. Look, why don't you sit down?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to blow up at you.
It's all right. Forget it. Let's come on in, Evans. This is Dr. Fraser. Don, this is Detective Evans.
Oh, hi. How do you do?
Evans, you're off desk duty as of now. Until further notice, you're assigned to the doctor. You'll pick him up every morning when he leaves his apartment. You'll go out on calls with him, accompany him to the hospital. The works, you got it?
Yes, sir.
And every night you take him back home and wait until he locks his door.
Yes, sir. What am I supposed to be looking for, Lieutenant?
Your guess is as good as mine. Just make sure the doctor stays healthy.
Yes, sir. You are taking this seriously, aren't you, Paul?
I am, Donald. Real serious.
In just a moment, we will return for the second act of Suspense.
Here's Hollywood star Mona Freeman.
Who feels like acting with a miserable cold? I relieve cold distress the fast way with 4-way cold tablets.
Yes, tests of all the leading cold tablets proved 4-way fastest acting. Amazing 4-way starts in minutes to relieve muscular pains and headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
When a cold strikes, do what I do. Take 4-way cold tablets. It's the fast way to relieve nasty cold distress and feel better quickly.
4-way, only 29 cents.
Our program will continue in a moment after word about another fine product of Grove Laboratories. To get rid of embarrassing dandruff in 3 minutes, change to Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. 3 minutes with Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep unsightly dandruff away forever. Apply Fitch before wetting hair, rub in 1 minute. Add water, lather 1 minute, then rinse 1 minute. Every trace of dandruff goes down the drain. 3 minutes with Fitch and embarrassing dandruff gone. At the same time, Fitch can brighten hair up to 35%. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today.
We was at the hospital from 2:35 to 7:15. Then we went to eat, went to a movie. Not a bad one either, Lieutenant. The one at the Palace. You seen it?
Never mind that.
No, sir. We got back to the apartment at 11:08. I checked it out like always. He locked the door behind me. I picked him up again at 8:10 this morning, and I'd just come from his office.
Office door locked?
Oh, yes, sir. I make sure of that. He says some of his patients complain about it, but he locks it.
Nothing out of the way?
No, sir.
Lieutenant Neiman.
Don Fraser, Paul. I got another one.
Another letter? Read it.
You haven't got much more time, murderer. You know how to kill. How well will you die? You've got to do something, Paul.
Now, take it easy. We're doing our best, Doc. This just came in the mail?
No, I found it on my desk when I got to the office.
What? I'll be there in 5 minutes, Doc. Come on, Evans, let's go. All right, Doctor, now let's see what we've got. Your outer door wasn't tampered with. Neither were the windows or the catches. The building superintendent has been in. The cleaning woman was out sick, so she wasn't even here last night. Now, you're absolutely certain the door was locked when you left last night and locked when you got here this morning?
I was with him, Lieutenant. It was locked, all right.
Uh-huh. And yet there was the letter right on your desk. How did it get there?
Well, Paul, I should have mentioned this before, but I didn't think it was important.
What?
I lost my key ring last month.
You what?
Now, it was only missing 2 days, and then somebody returned it through the mail. It had my name on it.
Now, ain't that just Jim Peachy Dandy?
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't think it meant anything.
Evans, call the station. I want that man Gilbert brought in. Let's find out about Gilbert once and for all.
You have to keep that light shining in my eyes.
We don't have to, but we're going to. We like to see who we're talking to, even when they're as ugly as you.
I'd like to get you out from behind that badge bust and hear you say that.
Any time at all. All right, Gilbert. Let's go back over that story of yours. You gave my man the slip after he tailed you home last night. Where'd you go?
I told you.
Tell him again.
I went bowling.
You always leave by the back door when you go
What,
bowling?
do you think I'm a kid or something? I knew you had a tail on me. Am I supposed to write him a letter if I feel like going out?
Why not? You've been writing Dr. Fraser letters.
I ain't writing nobody nothing. How many times do I have to tell you?
Turn off the light.
What?
You heard me. And get that clock out of here. It's making me jumpy. Yes, sir. That's pretty rough about your dad, Gilbert. Dying on the operating table like that. Of course, who's to say whose fault it was? Accidents will happen.
Listen, my old man had the constitution of an ox. There was no accident that killed him.
You think Fraser did it on purpose?
If I thought that, Fraser'd be as... you really want to know what I think?
Yeah, I do.
My old man was a clinic patient. No dose. Slap him on the table, cut him open. If he lives, okay. If he dies, too bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, I don't blame you for wanting to get back at Fraser.
Now, who
I
says...
do. You're our boy, Gilbert. You've got the motive and you've got the opportunity. We got witnesses who heard you swear to get even with Fraser.
Listen, a guy says lots of things. That don't mean anything.
Tell it to the jury, Gilbert. You only get one chance, and it's to cop a plea.
I never wrote no letters.
Where have you hid the duplicate keys? You'll find them sooner or later anyway. Lieutenant Neiman.
This is my last warning, Lieutenant. Fraser hasn't got much time left.
Who's this?
You're his friend. Tell him to make his peace with God, if he can.
Wait a minute. Comedy. Put a trace on this call. If you've got anything against Dr. Fraser, why don't you come on in? We'll talk it over.
Give him my message, Lieutenant.
Hello? Hello?
I just don't get it. I was so sure Gilbert was the one.
You're in good company, Doc. We thought so, too. I didn't. I never did. He was just the only pigeon in sight. Doc, tell me, this town you were born in, where you grew up, what's the name of it?
Haydenville.
Maybe the answer's back there.
But I left after high school. I never went back. I told you that.
Yeah, I know. What about your family?
Well, my father's dead. My mother lives with my aunt out in California.
Nobody else? Brothers, sisters, cousins?
Nobody else.
How come you never went back there?
I had no reason to. I'd made new friends in college and later in med school. There weren't any close ties at home.
All right, Don. How about college, medical school?
No. Nothing there either. Not that I was the most popular guy or anything like it, but I've never gone around making enemies.
Well, I wouldn't call our letter writer a bosom pal, exactly.
Hey, Lieutenant, maybe it's a patient. Maybe one of them's kind of cracked.
None of my patients has any reason to wish me harm.
Old man Gilbert conked out on the operating table. Was there anybody else?
I'm not in the habit of either killing or wounding my patients, Evans. Now, you can check my records if you like.
Okay, Doc, just ask.
Let's go, Evans. I'll pick you up at the usual time, Doc.
If I'm still around.
Okay, Doc, it's me. Up and at 'em. Hey, Doc, it's me, Evans. Let's get going. I like some breakfast. Doc? It smells like... Hey, Doc! It's not locked. That's gas. Hey, Doc!
In just a moment, we will return for the concluding act of Suspense.
Next time you refresh, enjoy a frosty, ice-cold Pepsi-Cola.
Sociability, Charlie.
All right, Kay, how's this? Pepsi is light, refreshes without filling. You like to refresh? Have a Pepsi right now.
Well, offer it to everybody, Charlie.
I will. Enjoy Pepsi at the fountain. It's delicious at home, too. Have one at lunch or with a snack.
Charlie.
At the beach or at dinner. Wherever you go, wherever you're thirsty, Pepsi is there.
It's here, too, in our Be Sociable song. Be sociable, look smart, keep up to date with Pepsi. Drink light, refreshing Pepsi.
For the weekend, have plenty of Pepsi around. Pick up an extra carton today. CK, I'm sociable.
With Pepsi, everyone is.
How is he, Lieutenant?
Doctor says he'll live.
Oh, thank heavens for that. You know something? Frazier must have opened that door himself. Even with duplicate keys, nobody could open it from outside after he shot the bolt.
So?
Well, so in a case as crazy as this, it's nice to have one solid fact to sink your teeth into.
Crazy is right. No sign of a struggle, not a mark on him. Yet there he is, stretched out on the couch and every burner on the stove going full blast.
Hey, Lieutenant, I just thought of something. Whoever the guy is, he's someone Frazier knows. You don't open the door in the middle of the night to a stranger. No kidding. Well, it's something.
It's nothing. Like everything else we got. Go on back to the station, Evans.
Well, what about you?
I'm going to see Fraser as soon as he'll let me. Dr. Frazier? Don? Can you hear me? It's Neiman. You're going to be all right, Don. You hear me? You're going to be all right.
He was lucky this time. He won't be again.
What?
I should have turned the gas on earlier.
Doc, that voice, what are you trying...
Next time I'll use a gun.
That's the... It was you on the phone, wasn't it, Doc?
It was me, Lieutenant.
What's going on?
It's very simple. I called you. I wrote the letters. I tried to kill him. And I'll try again, only the next time...
All right. It was you. Who are you?
Donald Frazier.
But, Doc... Okay. You're Donald Frazier. Where do you live?
92 Main Street. Haydenville.
Haydenville. Where do you work?
Mulholland's Meat Market. After school and all day Saturday.
School? What grade are you in?
I'm a junior in high school. Why?
Just routine, Donald. You have plans to go to college?
Sure. I'm going to be a doctor.
You mind me asking why you're out to kill him?
He's responsible for Jamie's death, so he has to pay for it.
Jamie?
My brother. He was 2 years younger than me.
How did he die?
He drowned. I don't want to talk about it.
I have to know, Donald. How did he die?
He got cramps. He yelled. He could have been saved, only he was too busy swimming to pay any attention. By the time he looked around, it was too late.
And you blame him for that?
Yes. He's got to pay.
Suppose it had been the other way around. Would you blame Jamie? You know how it is when you're swimming. You're having fun. It's easy to forget about the guys with you.
He shouldn't have forgotten.
No, but he didn't forget deliberately, did he?
No.
Will killing him bring Jamie back?
What are you asking me so many questions for?
Will it accomplish anything at all, Donald?
Maybe it'll give me some peace.
Is that what you want most?
Yes.
Killing him will only make you feel worse. You'll be a murderer then. Is that what you want?
No.
You want to be a doctor. That means saving lives, Donald, not taking them. Start with him. Give him back his life. That's the only way for you to find peace.
You believe that?
The Bible says, judge not, lest ye be judged. I don't think a guy like you could go through life with a secret like that on his conscience.
I just want some peace.
Then try it my way, Don. Forgive him. He's suffered more than you'll ever know.
How do you know?
I'm his friend. He's a very decent guy. I wish you could know him as I do.
And what about Jamie?
If he could, I think he'd say the same thing. He doesn't blame him. It was an accident. Try it my way, Don. Will you? Donald?
I'll try.
Good boy. Doc, can you hear me?
No. Who is it?
Me, Paul Neiman. How do you feel?
No. Well, as Evans would say, Jim Peachy dandy. What happened?
You had an accident. It's over and done with. You're going to be okay.
It's funny, Paul, but I feel... I don't know quite how to put it. Like a big burden's off my back. It's crazy, isn't it?
No, not at all.
Sure it is. Whatever happened to me, I know it was no accident. That letter writer will try again.
No, he won't, Doc. Because you see, we found him. From now on, I don't think you'll have any more trouble.
Suspense. You've been listening to Crank Letter, written for Suspense by Walter Black. In a moment, the names of our players and a word about next week's story of Suspense.
Out of tune because of irregularity? Kellogg's All Brand helps put you back in tune. Kellogg's All Brand is the natural way, the good food way to end constipation caused by lack of bulk in your diet. There's only one All Brand, Kellogg's All Brand. Its whole brand content gentles away constipation, supplies your system with the bulk-forming food you need. Kellogg's All Brand is the only whole brand cereal to bring you the combination of proved effectiveness, appetizing taste, and crispness. It never gets mushy in milk. So get back in tune and stay in tune. It's easy with the one and only Kellogg's All Brand, ALL-BRAN. Safe, reliable, pleasant. Millions enjoy it every day. They know they can count on Kellogg's All Brand to relieve irregularity.
Heard in tonight's story were Lyle Sudrow as Dr. Donald Fraser, Les Damon as Lieutenant Neiman, Bill Meader as the young Donald Fraser, and Larry Haynes as Fred Gilbert. Listen again next week when we return with Lieutenant Langer's Last Collection by George Bamber, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. On CBS Radio.
And now, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
When a man stops by at your place of business for a little collection, it's usually because somebody is collecting from him. Well, let's find out who that collector is as we bring you Lieutenant Langer's Last Collection by George Bamber in just 1 minute.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos. Corn chips, it's not polite to smack your lips, but you can't help it with Fritos corn chips. Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos. Corn chips.
Next time you want something to munch on, try Fritos. They're so crisp, so tasty, so good. You'll see right away why we say Fritos are the corn chips made to munch. Fill a big bowl with Fritos next time you settle down to watch your favorite TV program. Boy, there's contentment in every munch.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos. Corn chips.
Fritos are golden chips of corn, as nutritious as they are delicious. So full of good, crisp flavor, such good-for-you nourishment. They're the ideal snack for grown-ups and children alike. Get a bag of Fritos corn chips today and munch a bunch. Fritos, Fritos corn chips.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips.
Well, Bruno.
Lieutenant Langer,
It's been a long time.
I thought you had been transferred.
I was, Bruno. I was.
Then what are you doing in town?
Let's just say I came to look up an old friend.
About what?
A personal matter. Maybe we better go in the back.
Very well.
Looks like you're doing all right for yourself now.
Oh, I repair a few watches, make a few dollars on small loans. Now, what is it you wanted to see me about?
You know, Bruno, life in the sticks is bad. It's easy to get in a jam out there.
Come to the point. What is it you want?
$2,000.
What?
You heard me.
I won't pay.
Oh, yes, you will. Bruno, you've already got 2 previous convictions as receiver of stolen goods. 1 more ought to send you away for a long, long time. Maybe until the day you die.
But I have done nothing. I've been straight since the time you let me go. I paid you $1,000 then, and you said you would forget about it. You would give me another chance.
That was then. This is now.
But I'm clean. You've got no evidence.
Bruno, how hard do you think it would be to plant some gems on a convicted fence?
Then I will fight. I will tell the judge everything I know about the bribe I paid.
Then it would be your word against mine. A cop against a convicted diamond cutter.
But from what I heard, your word isn't so good anymore. That's why you were transferred from special duty downtown.
All they had were suspicions. They couldn't prove anything on me.
Maybe I'm just the man they're looking for.
Listen, you.
Please, Langer, for myself I am not asking. I'm an old man. Money does not mean much to me anymore. It's my daughter. She writes me from California. She wants me to come and live with them. I thought if I took a little nest egg, maybe I could give it to them, maybe help to set them up in a little business.
Come on.
Please. I've worked so hard to go straight. It hasn't been easy. Give me this chance.
Listen, you think you got troubles. The kind of trouble I'm in, if I don't have $2,000 by tomorrow morning, I might just as well forget about breathing. Now get me the money.
All right, all right. Only once a man is paid, you should leave him alone. Here you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1,000, 7, 8, 9, $2,000.
And $200 traveling expenses.
I won't pay.
$300 for being reluctant.
Robbery.
Now look, you little runt.
Help.
You keep playing hard to get, and I'll tear you apart with my bare hands.
Please.
Now, are you going to give me the money and keep your mouth shut, or do I have to get rough?
Yes. Just put me down. Huh? What's the matter with you?
Nothing. Get the money.
All right. Here you are. 1, 2, 3. Now leave me alone. Something is the matter with you. What is it?
It's nothing. I'll be all right.
Maybe you better sit down a minute. Sit till you feel better.
What, and have you robbed me if I pass out? I'd rather take my chances on the street.
Out of my store, leech. Worse than a leech. I tried to help you and you called me names. Is there nothing left inside you? No decency, nothing?
This is a tough world, Bruno. Dog eat dog.
Out of my store, dog. Worse than a dog. You with your $100 coat and brown suede shoes. Out of my store. My only wish is that you should drop dead right before my eyes. Out!
With pleasure, you little crook. Bad. I can tell it's bad this time.
I'll be all right. Just take it easy. Just take it slow and easy. It's happened before, and I was all right. Just keep walking. Take it slow till I get to the avenue to call a cab. It's getting worse. Feels like a hot bar inside my chest. Red hot. No. I've got to stop and rest. Lean up against something. There. That's better. My left arm feels numb. Now my leg. I can't move them. They're dead. I can't move at all. I can't walk. Help. Somebody help. Please.
Well, of course, I knew full well what she was referring to, but do you think she'd admit it?
Please help.
What?
Please help me. I'm a very sick man.
Paul, don't go near him. Can't you see he's drunk?
Please.
Look at him. He can hardly talk. He's so drunk.
Sick. Heart.
Don't let him touch you. He's falling. Falling down drunk. It's disgusting. You'd think the police would do something about this neighborhood. It's getting so I hate to walk through it anymore. Nothing but drunks and juvenile delinquents. Come on, Paul. Just let him lie there till he's sober.
In just a moment, we will return for the second act of Suspense.
Welcome, recording star Mel Torme.
It's terrible trying to sing with a bad cold. So I always take 4-way cold tablets to relieve cold miseries fast.
Good idea. Tests of all the leading cold tablets proved 4-way fastest acting. 4-way starts in minutes to relieve muscular pains, headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
When you catch cold, try my way. Take 4-way cold tablets. The fast way to relieve cold distress and feel better quickly.
4-way, only 29 cents.
Our program will continue in a moment after a word about another fine product of Grove Laboratories. To get rid of embarrassing dandruff in 3 minutes, change to Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. 3 minutes with Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep unsightly dandruff away forever. Apply Fitch before wetting hair, rub in 1 minute. Add water, lather 1 minute, then rinse 1 minute. Every trace of dandruff goes down the drain. 3 minutes with Fitch and embarrassing dandruff's gone. At the same time, Fitch can brighten hair up to 35%. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today.
You all right, mister?
No. My heart. I'm sick.
What's the matter with him, Chino? I don't know. I think he's got a heart attack or something.
Help me. Please help me.
Well, what you gonna do, Chino? I don't know.
Please.
Look, he passed out. Yeah. Well, come on, give me a hand. Well, what you gonna do, Chino? What you think we're gonna do? We're gonna help him. Now, come on, lift. All right. We'll take him downstairs to the clubhouse where he can lay down. Oh man, he's heavy. Yeah, he must weigh a ton. Look, get your head under his arm and lift. All right. Come on, watch these stairs. Easy now. Don't let him slip. I got him. All right. All right, now hold the door. Yeah, get on my foot. Yeah. All right. Here. All right, let him down on this couch. Hey, watch his head. Yeah. Boy, he weighs more like a whale than a man. Yeah. Well, what you going to do now, Chino? Call a cop? Yeah, I guess so. Get his wallet so we can see who he is. Yeah, okay. Hey, look at all this money. Give it here. How much you think there is? I don't know. Must be $2,000 at least. Yeah, $2,300.
Well, what are you going to do now, Chino?
I don't know. Just think of what we could do with $2,000.
Yeah.
Hey, we could own this town.
Yeah. Yeah, what are we going to do with him?
I don't know. Let me think. What's it say inside his wallet? Nuts.
Well, what's it say?
He's a cop. Now, how do you like that for all the lousy...
Well, what are you going to do now?
I don't know. Well, for crying out loud, will you let me think?
Boy, I hate to give back all that money. Yeah, we could maybe buy a car or...
I got it. What? We're going to get rid of him.
Now, look, Chino, I ain't going to get mixed up in nothing, especially with no cop.
This ain't murder. Listen, and we strip his clothes and dress him in any old junk we find in the trash. Make him look like a bum. Then let somebody else pick him up.
Yeah, but this is a cop. I ain't going to have nothing to do with no cop. They'll recognize him.
Ah, they won't. You see in his wallet? Yeah, look. It says he's attached to downtown someplace. Now, that's the beauty of the thing. When the cops in this precinct pick him up, they'll think he's just a wino. Maybe he froze to death during the night.
Yeah, but, Chino, that's murder.
No, it ain't. We picked him off the street now, didn't we? We got a right to put him back there. We ain't doing nothing for him or against him. Besides, look at him. He's half dead.
They left me out here to die. Like a bum lying in the alley. I don't want to die that way. Please, don't let me die that way. Look at the snow coming down. Soft, white flakes that melt against my face. So beautiful. I don't want to die. There's a street down there. I can see it. If I could only get to the street, somebody would see me. Nobody will see me here. Maybe if I tried to crawl. No, I can't do that. If I try to do any more, it'll kill me for sure. I can feel it in my chest. The whole area hot and numb. If I try any more, I'll tear it wide open. What was that? Bum going through the trash. Help. Please help.
What's that?
Help.
What's the matter, Mike?
Help.
Oh, you had a little too much, huh? You got down and you couldn't get up.
Please help me. I'm sick.
Yeah, why? You're sick? Oh, I know all about that, Mike. Sick. Now, you talk about sick. I remember one time.
Help.
All right. Always glad to help a pal. You're heavy, buddy. I'm afraid I can't do much more. Lift you up against this wall. You're too heavy. There. Ain't much, but at least your face is out of the gutter. You got a better slant in the world now. Yeah, I know. Don't look like much, does it, the world? But that's all we have. We gotta make the best of it. Make the best. Say, you wouldn't happen to have a little drop of what ails you, would you? Just a taste?
Oh, please.
Yeah. Well, you are the most ungrateful jack I ever did see. A man goes through all the trouble of pulling you out of the gutter and you won't even share the wealth, which I see a bottle sticking out of your coat pocket, plain as day.
I'm sick. Please help.
Sick, yeah. All right. God helps those who help themselves, as they tell us down at the mission.
Please, I'm very sick.
That's good.
just what I needed. Something to fight the cold. How about you? Do you care for a snort?
No. Doctor, please get a doctor.
You don't need no doctor. What you need is a drink, you know. You sure you don't have any more on you?
Oh, please, doctor.
Now, wait a minute. Don't you go passing out on me. Well, maybe I just better have a look. You've been known to hold out on your friends before. Nothing. Not a dime. Not even a cigarette butt, even. Well, if we had something we could pawn, we could get some more with that, eh? But you don't even have a cigarette lighter on you. Nothing. Not a thing. Wait a minute. Those shoes. Those are mighty fine-looking shoes you got there, buddy. I know a place where I could get 50 cents for these shoes, maybe even a buck.
What are you doing? Where are you going?
Oh, don't you worry. I'll be right back. I got a bottle for these. I'll be right back. We share alike.
Please come back.
I'm close in here.
Oh, now, come on, Bruno. I brought you a fine pair of shoes. What'll you give me for them, huh?
Quarter. Take it or leave it. Get out. They're closed.
Quarter? Look at these. These are fine shoes. I paid $30 for them new.
You never bought a pair of shoes in your... Where did you get these brown suede shoes?
What do you mean? Where did I get them? They're mine.
Come on now.
Shoes.
I won't turn you in. You just tell me where you got them.
Yeah, what's it worth to you?
50 cents for the shoes.
50 cents for the shoes and $1 for the information.
$1 for both.
I promise you won't turn me in.
I promise.
Well, I took him off a guy in the alley out back.
Quick. Here's your money. Now show me where. So we meet again, Lieutenant Langer. Only this time you aren't so full of orders and throwing your weight around, huh?
Oh.
My only regret is that you don't still have the money you borrowed from me.
Help. Please help me.
I should help you after what you've done to me. That's very funny, Lieutenant Langer. Very funny.
Bruno, please help me.
I've seen you start out, Langer, from an honest rookie to a cop on the take. And then you moved downtown and God knows how many people's lives you made miserable while you were assigned down there. Not that I have lived such a pure life myself, but at least I have been trying to go straight. Trying to change.
Please, Bruno. Please, one more chance.
One more chance for what? To come back and hold me up any time you want to? What do you think I am, stupid? Better I should see you die by inches than help you by raising my little finger for all the good you have done me or anybody else.
What have you got there, Bruno?
What? Oh, Officer Reardon, I didn't hear you come up.
I saw you from the light of your back door. I thought maybe you were having some trouble.
No trouble. But I'm afraid this man is, though.
That wino? Well, his trouble can't be cured. Just leave him there to sleep it off. He'll be all right by morning.
I think you had better call an ambulance. He looks like a very sick man.
He looks like a pretty drunk man, Bruno. Go on home. He'll be all right. Winos are more trouble than they're worth.
I don't think he's drunk. I think he is sick.
He's drunk, I tell you. You can see by just looking at him.
Please, Reardon. This man is sick. He has had a heart attack. If something isn't done quickly, he will die.
How do you know that?
He's a friend of mine.
I hear you're leaving us soon, Bruno.
Yes, tomorrow I take the plane for California. I'm getting out of the business for good.
Well, I want to wish you luck, and I want you to know I'll miss having you in the neighborhood. Been a big help to me around the neighborhood.
Well, if it's only doing something, if nobody did nothing, what would the world be?
I want to thank you just the same.
That's all right. You've been a good rookie, Eden. I know you'll make a fine policeman.
And I want to tell you how sorry I was about that friend of yours. I'm sorry we couldn't get him to the hospital in time.
That's all right, Officer Eden. Maybe things worked out for the best. After all.
Suspense. You've been listening to Lieutenant Langer's Last Collection, written for Suspense by George Bamber. In a moment, the names of our players and a word about next week's story of Suspense. Out of tune? If you're irregular due to lack of bulk, help yourself get back in tune with Kellogg's All Brand. You'll feel right on pitch when Kellogg's All Brand gentles away irregularity the natural way. So fight constipation as millions do with good-tasting Kellogg's All Brand. ALL-BRAN. Kellogg's All Brand. And for all you All Brand users who are also flour fanciers, here's good news. Kellogg's All Brand again is offering beautiful rose bushes, including formerly patented gold medal winners, in a choice of 5 colors. For each rose bush, just mail 50 cents with a box top from a package of Kellogg's All Brand to Queen of the Garden Roses, Box 974, Tyler, Texas. See the back of specially marked packages of Kellogg's All Brand today for full details. Heard in tonight's story were Frank Milan as Lieutenant Langer and Murray Forbes as Bruno. Others in our cast were Frank Thomas Jr., Ginger Jones, Jack Grimes, Ian Martin, and William Mason. Listen again next week when we return with Sleeping is for Children by Eugene Francis and Ralph Bell. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. On CBS Radio.
WROW Albany, where you get a new exciting morning glow with the Bob Kennedy Show. 6 to 10 on Radio 59.
And now, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
In just 1 minute, Sleep is for Children by Ralph Bell and Eugene Francis.
Hello, I'm Burgess Meredith. Did you know there are over 3 million persons in America who are hard of hearing and not doing anything about it? Maybe you or some member of your family is hard of hearing. Well, fortunately, I've never had this problem. Some of my friends and family have. Now, a few years ago, your excuse might have been that you didn't want to wear a bulky hearing aid. But today, it's a different story. I've just seen the new Super 60 hearing glasses developed by Mako Electronics. If I hadn't known they were hearing glasses, I would have guessed them to be regular eyeglasses. It's a wonderful way for any hard-of-hearing person to conceal a hearing loss. There are styles for both men and women. For an interesting free booklet on hearing glasses for yourself or a friend, stop in at Mako or write to Hearing Glasses, CBS, 485 Madison Avenue, New York. Don't wait until your hearing gets worse. It may be too late. Send for your booklet today. Write CBS, 485 Madison Avenue, New York.
Who's there? Is somebody there? Who is it? Answer me. Whoever it is, you better get out. I'm going to call the police.
Put the phone back, please. Do as I say.
Mr. Bettler, what are you doing here this time of night?
Well, I'm not here to deliver your egg.
Get out of here. Get out of my house this instant, or I'm going to call the police.
I'm afraid you won't get the chance.
What are you going to do?
What I did to the others?
Others? You killed them.
That's right.
But why? Why me?
Because you're all alone tonight, like they were. No, you don't.
No! Please don't. Please.
And for the fourth time last night, the suburban town of Woodlake was the scene of a brutal and meaningless murder. The latest victim was Mrs. Leland Worth, 34 years old, who was found strangled in her living room by police late last night. All four victims have been homeowners in some of Woodlake's recently completed housing developments. Local authorities admitted today that they were still in the dark as to the identity of the vicious marauder. However, the search is...
Local authorities still in the dark. It's just terrible. When are the police going to do something?
Well, they only got 8 men on the force. Woodlake ain't like the big city.
I'm beginning to wish we were back in the big city. At least I felt safe in my apartment at night.
Oh, now, the city's no place to bring up a little girl like you or Stephanie. Mr. Gordon working late again tonight?
Yes, it's income tax time. Busiest part of the year for an auditor.
Well, sooner or later they're going to catch up with whoever's doing these killings, and then everybody can relax. Oh, should I fix Stephanie some breakfast?
You better let me see if I can coax her into opening the bathroom door first.
Oh, that's a real cute trick. Locking herself in the bathroom every time she gets mad at you.
Shoot. Stephanie? Do you hear me up there?
What that child needs is to get her bottom blistered a few times. She'd stop her foolishness.
Stephanie! Unlock that door and come down this minute. Do you hear me? All right, young lady, I'm calling your father.
Hello?
It's me, Walter. How do you feel?
Exhausted, honey. I couldn't get back to sleep after those police sirens woke me last night. Then the bump on my head kept throbbing.
I'm sorry, dear. I bawled Stephanie out about leaving her roller skates in the hall like that. So you can just guess where she is now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The bathroom.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to take the lock off the door. Any news about the murder?
No. Walter, I'm frightened about staying here alone tonight.
Look, Ellen, there's nothing to worry about. I phoned the Woodlake police, and the chief promised to have a special man patrol the entire project all night. Anyway, why don't you ask Rosa to stay over? Or at least until I get home.
Can I speak to Daddy?
Well, at last. Walter, your daughter's finally come out. She wants to speak to you.
Okay, put her on.
Here, Stephanie, now don't talk too long. Daddy's awfully busy. And be sure to put the phone back when you're finished. I'll be in the kitchen.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, sweetie. How's my love?
Oh, fine, Daddy.
Well, that's good. Stephanie, take it easy on your mother. Locking yourself in the bathroom is not a nice thing to do.
She yelled at me this morning.
Well, you deserved it, honey. Daddy nearly broke his neck last night stepping on your roller skates.
You bent the skate.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, but...
Oh, Daddy, somebody's at the door. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Stephanie. Stephanie, hang up the phone, darling. Stephanie.
I'll open it, Mommy. Oh, hello, Mr. Bettler.
Your mama home?
Uh-huh.
Well, tell her I've brought her eggs.
Mommy, the Eggman's here.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Bettler.
Sorry I'm late, Miss Gordon, but I've been working with the police all morning on that Worth murder.
Oh, I didn't know you were on the police force.
Well, I ain't really.
Some of us old residents have been deputized temporarily since these things started around here.
Do you have time for a cup of coffee?
Well, never say no to coffee, Miss Gordon.
Pour a cup of coffee for Mr. Bethler, Rosa.
Sure.
Any idea who did it?
Well, not yet. They're looking for a feller I told them about. I've seen him hanging around these parts.
Probably some delinquent from one of these new families.
Could be, Rosa.
Well,
could be.
You know, you was born on that chicken farm of yours, Abel. You ever remember having trouble like this before all this here building started and those city folks moved out here?
Can't remember nothing more violent than a man beating his wife, or vice versa.
Oh, I tell you, some of these new people, mighty peculiar.
Now, Rosa, that ain't true of everybody. You couldn't ask for anybody nicer than Miss Gordon here.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bethler. I just hope you catch that man soon before I'm a nervous wreck.
Oh, he ain't likely to try to break in where there's men folks around. Them last 3 houses, the women were all alone.
Well, that's just it. My husband's working late these nights. He hardly ever gets home till after midnight.
I see. Well, how about Rosa here keeping you company?
Well, as a matter of fact, Rosa, Mr. Gordon just suggested the same thing.
Oh, now, I'm sorry, Miss Gordon. I already promised Miss McCloskey across the road to stay with her. Her husband's out of town.
Oh, dear.
Well, there's no need to fret, Miss Gordon. The chief just assigned me to patrol this area tonight. I'll be handy should you need me.
In just a moment, we will return for the second act of Suspense.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips. It's not polite to smack your lips, but you can't help it with Fritos corn chips. Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips.
Whenever you have a party or friends drop in, serve a bowl of crisp Fritos corn chips and watch your guests dig in. They're golden chips of corn just made to munch. Serve them plain or with your favorite dip. There's a special Fritos in a king-size style that's just right for dips.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips.
You'll find Fritos corn chips taste just right whenever the occasion calls for good munching. They have such good, crisp flavor, such good-for-you nourishment. There's contentment in every munch. Get Fritos today. Fritos. Fritos corn chips.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips.
Hello. Hello, Stephanie, Ellen. Somebody come to the phone.
Phone still tied up, Walter?
Yeah, doggone it. Wait, I hear some voices. There must be in the hall.
$1.30, 65 cents this week.
Hello.
Thank you, Miss Gordon. And don't worry about tonight. I'll be keeping an eye out.
Hello. Somebody come to the phone.
Goodbye. Thanks for the coffee.
Oh,
Hello.
that child. Stephanie, you did it again. You left the phone off the hook.
Hello, Ellen. Hello.
Hello. Walter, is that you? What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm trying to get my phone untied. Stephanie didn't hang up.
Well, why didn't you hang up?
I did 5 minutes ago, but that doesn't disconnect us.
If it doesn't, I don't see why not.
It's very simple, honey. The person who makes the call has to hang up. Otherwise, the phones remain connected. I can even hear you talking to someone.
Oh, that was Mr. Bethler who delivers the eggs. He was telling me about the murder. Mrs. Worth was all alone in the house. All the people who've been killed were alone. I wish you'd come home early tonight, Walter. Rosa can't stay with me.
Ellen, I promise you, I'll rush. I'll get there as soon as I can.
Would you keep in touch with me?
Sure, honey. I'll phone every hour, okay?
All right, dear. Bye. Hello?
Hello, darling. Everything all right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Aren't you sure?
Well, I keep hearing strange noises outside, but I guess that's just my imagination. I'll be glad when this night's over.
Stephanie asleep?
Not quite. She's given me quite a day. I'm exhausted. Will you be much longer?
Oh, just a couple of hours.
Well, call me again then, will you, dear?
Sure, honey. Meanwhile, why don't you go to bed, get some rest?
All right, I'll try. I'll lie down with Stephanie. Maybe she'll go to sleep faster that way.
Mommy, What? I hear noises.
What noises?
I heard glass breaking.
Oh, go to sleep, darling, please.
I heard somebody walking outside.
All right, now, Daddy will be home soon.
See?
Oh, who can that be? Yes, I'm coming. Who is it?
It's me, Miss Gordon, Rosa.
Oh. Rosa, come in. What are you doing here?
Well, Miss McCloskey's husband come home, so I thought I'd come over to see if you still want me to stay with you.
Oh, yes, I'd appreciate it very much.
I found Stephanie's skates out on the porch. I figured I'd better bring them in before Mr. Gordon falls over them again.
Thank you. Honestly, when will she ever learn?
Kids are all the same, I guess. I'll put them someplace out of the way. Oh, you mind if I fix some coffee?
No, go right ahead. By the way, Rosie, you didn't see anybody near the house.
No. Why?
Well, Stephanie thought she heard something outside.
Oh, might have been me coming up the driveway. Yeah. She's still awake?
I've never seen anyone resist sleep so. I better go up to her.
Well, now, just you relax. I'm here, so there's nothing to worry about.
Ah, thank you, Rosa.
Mommy!
Stephanie, I want you to get back into your bed this instant.
Was that Rosa?
Yes. Now, come on. Climb in. Cover up.
You tuck me.
All right. There. Now, good night.
Good night. Mommy.
What?
I'm hungry.
Well, that's just too bad.
Oh, could I just have a glass of milk and a cookie?
No, it's too late.
But I'm hungry.
You won't starve. Now go to sleep. Oh. Rosa, you all right?
Mommy!
Hush. Rosa, is anything wrong? Stephanie, you stay here. I'll be right back.
In a moment, we will return for the third act of Suspense.
Meet star Stuart Irwin.
Nothing's worse for an actor than a nasty cold. To feel better quickly, I take wonderful 4-way cold tablets, the fast way to relieve cold distress.
Right. Tests of all the leading cold tablets proved 4-way fastest acting. 4-way starts in minutes to relieve muscular pains, headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
Take my advice. For your next cold, take 4-way cold tablets, the fast way to relieve those cold miseries.
4-way, only 29 cents.
Our program will continue in a moment after word about another fine product of Grove Laboratories. Does dandruff dull your hair, leave scalp itchy? Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo and get rid of unsightly dandruff in 3 minutes. 3 minutes with Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away forever. Apply Fitch before wetting hair. Rub in 1 minute. Add water. Lather 1 minute. Rinse 1 minute. Every trace of dandruff goes down the drain. 3 minutes with Fitch. Unsightly dandruff's gone. Fitch can also leave your hair up to 35% brighter. Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo.
Rosa, where are... Oh! What are the skates doing on the floor again? Rosie in the kitchen? Rosa! Rosa, what happened?
Don't stay here. He's in the house.
I'll get help, Rosa.
Mommy, where are you?
Stephanie, don't come in here. Stephanie? What is it? What happened?
The roller skate. I came down after you and I tripped on the roller skate.
Hush. Come on, get up.
Oh, but it hurts.
Please, Stephanie, stand up. We've got to get out of here.
No.
As I say.
No, you let go of me.
Stephanie, be quiet.
Ow. You hit me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where are you going? Come back here.
I'm going to lock myself in the bathroom and I'm never coming out.
Stephanie, come back.
Don't go after it, Miss Gordon.
Mr. Bepler. Oh, Mr. Bepler, thank goodness. How did you get in here?
Through the window.
Oh. It's you.
No sense trying to run, Miss Gordon. I'll just have to take it out on your little girl.
Oh, you wouldn't.
Don't answer it. Keep away from that phone.
It's probably my husband, Mr. Pepler. You better let me answer it.
No. All right. All right, you talk to him. But just remember, you let on anything's wrong, and your little girl pays for it.
Hello?
Hello, dear. Just calling again as I promised. Everything all right?
Yes, Walter.
Good. I'm almost through here.
I can't find that voucher, Walter.
Well, is it in the file?
No, sir.
Honey, hold on a minute. I'll be right back.
Hang up.
But
Hang up.
he didn't finish talking. He'll only call back.
Yeah? Well, I'll just take the phone off the hook, and then he'll get nothing but a busy signal.
Why, Mr. Pepler? Why are you doing this? What harm have I done you?
Harm? You're crowding me, all of you newcomers. Hedging me in, bulldozing the trees down, spoiling the land with your fancy new cigar box houses, bankrupting us all with your taxes for schools and roads and such.
My taxes have gone up double since you city people started flooding in here. That's the kind of harm you done me.
Joe, finish that. We'll call tonight. Hello, Alan. I'm sorry.
Well...
Hello?
Maybe when people like you find it ain't safe here,
Hello?
you'll go back where you came from.
Ellen.
That's why I killed Mrs. Worth and the others. And I'll keep on killing till you're all gone.
Good Lord. Ellen. Hello. Hello, operator. For heaven's sake, operator. Hello.
In just a moment, we will return for the concluding act of Suspense.
Thirsty people everywhere prefer ice-cold Pepsi-Cola. And because it's light, it refreshes without filling.
Charlie, be sociable.
I am, Kay. Pepsi is a favorite of thirsty people from Maine to Hawaii, from Alaska to Florida.
Charlie.
It's perfect for parties or picnics, so serve Pepsi to your guests.
That's helpful, but...
This is the sociable part. Keep plenty of Pepsi ice-cold and ready. Remember, it goes fast because everybody likes Pepsi.
Singing still sounds more inviting. May I?
Be sociable, look smart, keep up to date with Pepsi. Drink light, refreshing Pepsi. Stay young and fair and debonair. Be sociable, have a Pepsi.
But singing doesn't say, pick up an extra carton of Pepsi today. Better yet, get a case.
You do that.
Why, Rosa, Mr. Pepler, she was born here in Woodlake like yourself. Why kill her?
I didn't expect to find her here. She saw me and she'd have told. Now, there's no use you're backing away. Where are you going to run?
Please, Mr. Pepler.
See, you nearly tripped over that skate.
I'll just put it out on the porch where it belongs.
Sure, and start hollering for help. Come here.
Let go. Let go. Oh. Mr. Pepler. Got to get away from here. Stephanie. Stephanie, where are you? Answer me, where are you? Oh, Stephanie, come out of the bathroom quickly. Stephanie, unlock the door. Hurry.
No.
Please.
You slapped me.
Stephanie, there is no time to explain. Now open the door before it's too late.
No, I'm going to stay in here all night.
Please, Stephanie, please.
I didn't do anything and you hit me.
Stephanie, I am sorry, and I'll never punish you again, darling. Just unlock the door.
You promise?
Yes, I promise. Now hurry, we've got to get away from here.
You ain't going nowhere.
Stephanie, don't turn the lock. Don't come out. Stay in there.
It won't do her no good. Who's the devil?
Gordon, please.
Police! I'm getting out of here.
Hey, there he goes. Through that window. Stop where you are. Hold! Mrs. Gordon? Mrs. Gordon?
I'm up here.
Oh, you all right, Mrs. Gordon?
Yes, officer.
Your husband called us, and we got here as soon as we could. He heard you and Bepler over the phone.
But he took the phone off so there'd be a busy signal.
That's where Bepler made a mistake. The connection isn't broken until the calling party hangs up. Oh, your little girl all right?
Yes, officer.
Mommy.
It's all right, dear. You can come out now.
I can't turn the lock. It's stuck. I've locked in.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Suspense.
You've been listening to Sleep is for Children, a story written for Suspense by Ralph Bell and Eugene Francis. In a moment, the names of our players and a word about next week's story of Suspense.
Are you all out of tune because you're irregular? Then help yourself get back in tune with Kellogg's All Brand. You'll feel right on pitch when Kellogg's All Brand goes gently to work. Relieves constipation due to lack of bulk by supplying your system with bulk-forming whole bran. Yes, a daily bowlful of Kellogg's All Bran with milk helps put you right back in tune. The natural way. The good-tasting way, too. Fact is, Kellogg's All Bran is the one brand cereal that combines proved effectiveness with appetizing taste and crispness. It never gets mushy in milk. So remember, if constipation's a problem, gentle it away, as millions do, with Kellogg's All Bran. The good food way to keep regular as clockwork. ALL-BRAN. Kellogg's All Bran. At your grocer's.
In tonight's story were Elspeth Eric as Ellen Gordon, Ralph Bell as Walter Gordon, Bill Adams as Mr. Beppler, and Betty Gard as Rosa. Others in our cast were Ruth Tobin and Sarah Fussell. Listen again next week when we return with The Revolution by Peter Fernandez. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. Be sure to tune in next week and every week to Suspense on CBS Radio.
WROW Albany, where you get a new exciting morning glow with the Bob Kennedy Show. 6 to 10 on Radio 59.
And now, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
In just 1 minute, Sleep is for Children by Ralph Bell and Eugene Francis.
Hello, I'm Burgess Meredith. Did you know there are over 3 million persons in America who are hard of hearing and not doing anything about it? Maybe you or some member of your family is hard of hearing. Well, fortunately, I've never had this problem. Some of my friends and family have. Now, a few years ago, your excuse might have been that you didn't want to wear a bulky hearing aid. But today, it's a different story. I've just seen the new Super 60 hearing glasses developed by Mako Electronics. If I hadn't known they were hearing glasses, I would have guessed them to be regular eyeglasses. It's a wonderful way for any hard-of-hearing person to conceal a hearing loss. There are styles for both men and women. For an interesting free booklet on hearing glasses for yourself or a friend, stop in at Mako or write to Hearing Glasses, CBS, 485 Madison Avenue, New York. Don't wait until your hearing gets worse. It may be too late. Send for your booklet today. Write CBS, 485 Madison Avenue, New York.
Get out. I'm going to call the police.
Put the phone back, please. Do as I say.
Mr. Beppler, what are you doing here this time of night?
Well, I'm not here to deliver your egg.
Get out of here. Get out of my house this instant or I'm going to call the police.
I'm afraid you won't get the chance.
What are you going to do?
What I did to the others?
Others? You killed them.
That's right.
But why? Why me?
Because you're all alone tonight, like they were. No, you don't.
No! Please don't. Please.
And for the fourth time last night, the suburban town of Woodlake was the scene of a brutal and meaningless murder. The latest victim was Mrs. Leland Worth, 34 years old, who was found strangled in her living room by police late last night. All 4 victims have been homeowners in some of Woodlake's recently completed housing developments. Local authorities admitted today that they were still in the dark as to the identity of the vicious marauder. However, the search is...
Local authorities still in the dark. It's just terrible. When are the police going to do something?
Well, they only got 8 men on the force. Woodlake ain't like the big city.
I'm beginning to wish we were back in the big city. At least I felt safe in my apartment at night.
Oh, now, city's no place to bring up a little girl like you or Stephanie. Mr. Gordon working late again tonight?
Yes, it's income tax time. Busiest part of the year for an auditor.
Well, sooner or later they're going to catch up with whoever's doing these killings, and then everybody can relax. Oh, should I fix Stephanie some breakfast?
You better let me see if I can coax her into opening the bathroom door first.
Oh, that's a real cute trick. Locking herself in the bathroom every time she gets mad at you.
Shoot. Stephanie? You hear me up there?
What that child needs is to get her bottom blistered a few times. She'd stop her foolishness.
Stephanie! Unlock that door and come down this minute. Do you hear me? All right, young lady, I'm calling your father.
Hello?
It's me, Walter. How do you feel?
Exhausted, honey. I couldn't get back to sleep after those police sirens woke me last night. Then the bump on my head kept throbbing.
I'm sorry, dear. I bawled Stephanie out about leaving her roller skates in the hall like that. So you can just guess where she is now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The bathroom.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to take the lock off the door. Any news about the murder?
No. Walter, I'm frightened about staying here alone tonight.
Look, Ellen, there's nothing to worry about. I phoned the Woodlake police, and the chief promised to have a special man patrol the entire project all night. Anyway, why don't you ask Rosa to stay over? Or at least until I get home.
Can I speak to Daddy?
Well, at last. Walter, your daughter's finally come out. She wants to speak to you.
Okay, put her on.
Here, Stephanie, now don't talk too long. Daddy's awfully busy. And be sure to put the phone back when you're finished. I'll be in the kitchen.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, sweetie. How's my love?
Oh, fine, Daddy.
Well, that's good. Stephanie, take it easy on your mother. Locking yourself in the bathroom is not a nice thing to do.
She yelled at me this morning.
Well, you deserved it, honey. Daddy nearly broke his neck last night stepping on your roller skate.
You bent the skate.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, but...
Oh, Daddy, somebody's at the door. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Stephanie. Stephanie, hang up the phone, darling. Stephanie.
I'll open it, Mommy. Oh, hello, Mr. Bepler.
Your mama home?
Uh-huh.
Well, tell her I've brought her eggs.
Mommy, the Eggman's here.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Bepler.
Sorry I'm late, Miss Gordon, but I've been working with the police all morning on that Worth murder.
Oh, I didn't know you were on the police force.
Well, I ain't, really. Some of us old residents have been deputized temporarily since these things started around here.
Do you have time for a cup of coffee?
Well, never say no to coffee, Miss Gordon.
Pour a cup of coffee for Mr. Bepler, Rosa.
Sure.
Any idea who did it?
Well, not yet. They're looking for a feller I told them about. I've seen him hanging around these parts.
Probably some delinquent from one of these new families.
Could be, Rosa.
Well,
could be.
You know, you was born on that chicken farm of yours, Abel. You ever remember having trouble like this before all this here building started and those city folks moved out here?
Can't remember nothing more violent than a man beating his wife, or vice versa.
Oh, I tell you, some of these new people, mighty peculiar.
Now, Rosa, that ain't true of everybody. You couldn't ask for anybody nicer than Miss Gordon here.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bepler.
I just hope you catch that man soon before I'm a nervous wreck.
Oh, he ain't likely to try to break in where there's men folks around. Them last 3 houses, the women were all alone.
Well, that's just it. My husband's working late these nights. He hardly ever gets home till after midnight.
I see. Well, how about Rosa here keeping you company?
Well, as a matter of fact, Rosa, Mr. Gordon just suggested the same thing.
Oh, now, I'm sorry, Miss Gordon. I already promised Miss McCloskey across the road to stay with her. Her husband's out of town.
Oh, dear.
Well, there's no need to fret, Miss Gordon. The chief just assigned me to patrol this area tonight. I'll be handy should you need me.
In just a moment, we will return for the second act of Suspense.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips. It's not polite to smack your lips, but you can't help it with Fritos corn chips. Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips.
Whenever you have a party or friends drop in, serve a bowl of crisp Fritos corn chips and watch your guests dig in. They're golden chips of corn just made to munch. Serve them plain or with your favorite dip. There's a special Fritos in a king-size style that's just right for dips.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips.
You'll find Fritos corn chips taste just right whenever the occasion calls for good munching. They have such good, crisp flavor, such good-for-you nourishment. There's contentment in every munch. Get Fritos today. Fritos. Fritos corn chips.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips.
Hello. Hello, Stephanie, Ellen. Somebody come to the phone.
Phone still tied up, Walter?
Yeah, doggone it. Wait, I hear some voices. There must be no phone.
$1.30, 65 cents this week.
Hello.
Thank you, Miss Gordon. Now, and don't worry about tonight. I'll be keeping an eye out.
Hello. Somebody come to the phone.
Goodbye. Thanks for the coffee.
Hello.
That child. Stephanie, you did it again. You left the phone off the hook.
Hello, Ellen. Hello.
Hello. Walter, is that you? What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm trying to get my phone untied. Stephanie didn't hang up.
Well, why didn't you hang up?
I did 5 minutes ago, but that doesn't disconnect us.
If it doesn't, I don't see why not.
It's very simple, honey. The person who makes the call has to hang up. Otherwise, the phones remain connected. I can even hear you talking to someone.
Oh, that was Mr. Bepler, delivers the eggs. He was telling me about the murder. Mrs. Worth was all alone in the house. All the people who've been killed were alone. I wish you'd come home early tonight, Walter. Rosa can't stay with me.
Ellen, I promise you, I'll rush. I'll get there as soon as I can.
Would you keep in touch with me?
Sure, honey. I'll phone every hour, okay?
All right, dear. Bye.
Hello?
Hello, darling. Everything all right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Aren't you sure?
Well, I keep hearing strange noises outside, but I guess that's just my imagination. I'll be glad when this night's over.
Stephanie asleep?
Not quite. She's given me quite a day. I'm exhausted. Will you be much longer?
Oh, just a couple of hours.
Well, call me again then, will you, dear?
Sure, honey. Meanwhile, why don't you go to bed, get some rest?
All right, I'll try. I'll lie down with Stephanie. Maybe she'll go to sleep faster that way.
Mommy, you asleep?
Mm-hmm.
Mommy,
What?
I hear noises.
What noises?
I heard glass breaking.
Oh, go to sleep, darling, please.
I heard somebody walking outside.
All right, now, Daddy will be home soon.
See?
Oh, who can that be? Yes, I'm coming. Who is it?
It's me, Miss Gordon, Rosa.
Oh. Rosa, Come in. What are you doing here?
Well, Miss McCloskey's husband come home, so I thought I'd come over to see if you still want me to stay with you.
Oh, yes, I'd appreciate it very much.
I found Stephanie's skates out on the porch. I figured I'd better bring them in before Mr. Gordon falls over them again.
Thank you. Honestly, when will she ever learn?
Kids are all the same, I guess. I'll put them someplace out of the way. Oh, you mind if I fix some coffee?
No, go right ahead. By the way, Rosie, you didn't see anybody near the house.
No. Why?
Well, Stephanie thought she heard something outside.
Oh, might have been me coming up the driveway. Yeah. She's still awake?
I've never seen anyone resist sleep so. I better go up to her.
Well, now, just you relax. I'm here, so there's nothing to worry about.
Ah, thank you, Rosie.
Mommy!
Stephanie, I want you to get back into your bed this instant.
Was that Rosa?
Yes. Now, come on. Climb in. Cover up.
You tuck me.
All right. There. Now, good night.
Good night. Mommy.
What?
I'm hungry.
Well, that's just too bad.
Oh, could I just have a glass of milk and a cookie?
No, it's too late.
But I'm hungry.
You won't starve. Now go to sleep. Rosa, you all right?
Mommy!
Hush. Rosa, is anything wrong? Stephanie, you stay here. I'll be right back.
In a moment, we will return for the third act of Suspense.
Meet star Stuart Irwin.
Nothing's worse for an actor than a nasty cold. To feel better quickly, I take wonderful 4-way cold tablets, the fast way to relieve cold distress.
Right. Tests of all the leading cold tablets proved 4-way fastest acting. 4-way starts in minutes to relieve muscular pains, headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
Take my advice. For your next cold, take 4-way cold tablets, the fast way to relieve those cold miseries.
4-way, only 29 cents.
Our program will continue in a moment after a word about another fine product of Grove Laboratories. Does dandruff dull your hair, leave scalp itchy? Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo and get rid of unsightly dandruff in 3 minutes. 3 minutes with Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away forever. Apply Fitch before wetting hair. Rub in 1 minute. Add water. Lather 1 minute. Rinse 1 minute. Every trace of dandruff goes down the drain. 3 minutes with Fitch. Unsightly dandruff's gone. Fitch can also leave your hair up to 35% brighter. Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo.
Rosa, where are... What are the skates doing on the floor again? Rosie in the kitchen? Rosa! Rosa, what happened?
Don't stay here. He's in the house.
I'll get help, Rosa.
Mommy! Mommy, where are you?
Stephanie, don't come in here. Stephanie? What is it? What happened?
The roller skate. I came down after you and I tripped on the roller skate.
Hush. Come on, get up.
Oh, but it hurts.
Please, Stephanie, stand up. We've got to get out of here.
No.
Do as I say.
No. You let go of me.
Stephanie, be quiet.
Ow. You hit me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where are you going? Come back here.
I'm going to lock myself in the bathroom and I'm never coming out.
Stephanie, come back.
Don't go after her, Miss Gordon.
Mr. Bethler. Oh, Mr. Bethler, thank goodness. How did you get in here?
Through the window.
Oh. It's you.
No sense trying to run, Miss Gordon. I'll just have to take it out on your little girl.
Oh, you wouldn't.
Don't answer it. Keep away from that phone.
It's probably my husband, Mr. Bethler. You better let me answer it.
No. All right, you talk to him. But just remember, you let on anything's wrong, and your little girl pays for it.
Hello?
Hello, dear. Just calling again as I promised. Everything all right?
Yes, Walter.
Good. I'm almost through here.
I can't find that voucher, Walter.
Well, is it in the file?
No, sir.
Honey, hold on a minute. I'll be right back.
Hang up.
But
Hang up.
he didn't finish talking. He'll only call back.
Yeah? Well, I'll just take the phone off the hook, and then he'll get nothing but a busy signal.
Why, Mr. Pepler? Why are you doing this? What harm have I done you?
Harm? You're crowding me, all of you newcomers. Hedging me in, bulldozing the trees down, spoiling the land with your fancy new cigar box houses, bankrupting us all with your taxes for schools and roads and such.
My taxes have gone up double since you city people started flooding in here. That's the kind of harm you done me.
Joe, finish that. We'll call tonight. Hello, Alan. I'm sorry.
Well...
Hello?
Maybe when people like you find it ain't safe here,
Hello?
you'll go back where you came from.
Ellen.
That's why I killed Mrs. Worth and the others. And I'll keep on killing till you're all gone.
Good Lord. Ellen. Hello. Hello, operator. For heaven's sake, operator. Hello.
In just a moment, we will return for the concluding act of Suspense.
Thirsty people everywhere prefer ice-cold Pepsi-Cola. And because it's light, it refreshes without filling.
Charlie, be sociable.
I am, Kay. Pepsi is a favorite of thirsty people from Maine to Hawaii, from Alaska to Florida.
Charlie.
It's perfect for parties or picnics, so serve Pepsi to your guests.
That's helpful, but...
This is the sociable part. Keep plenty of Pepsi ice-cold and ready. Remember, it goes fast because everybody likes Pepsi.
Singing still sounds more inviting. May I?
Be sociable, look smart, keep up to date with Pepsi. Drink light, refreshing Pepsi. Stay young and fair and debonair. Be sociable, have a Pepsi.
But singing doesn't say, pick up an extra carton of Pepsi today. Better yet, get a case.
You do that.
Why, Rosa, Mr. Bepler, she was born here in Woodlake like yourself. Why kill her?
I didn't expect to find her here. She saw me and she'd have told. Now, there's no use you're backing away. Where are you going to run?
Please, Mr. Bepler.
See, you nearly tripped over that skate.
I'll just put it out on the porch where it belongs.
Sure, and start hollering for help. Come here.
Let go. Let go! Mr. Bepler. Got to get away from here. Stephanie? Stephanie, where are you? Answer me, where are you? Oh, Stephanie, come out of the bathroom quickly. Stephanie, unlock the door. Hurry.
No.
Please.
You slapped me.
Stephanie, there is no time to explain. Now open the door before it's too late.
No, I'm going to stay in here all night.
Please, Stephanie, please.
I didn't do anything and you hit me.
Stephanie, I am sorry, and I'll never punish you again, darling. Just unlock the door.
You promise?
Yes, I promise. Now hurry, we've got to get away from here.
You ain't going nowhere.
Stephanie, don't turn the lock. Don't come out. Stay in there.
It won't do her no good. Who's the devil?
Gordon, please.
Police! I'm getting out of here.
Hey, there he goes. Through that window. Stop where you are. Halt! Mrs. Gordon? Mrs. Gordon?
I'm up here.
Oh, you all right, Mrs. Gordon?
Yes, officer.
Your husband called us, and we got here as soon as we could. He heard you and Bepler over the phone.
But he took the phone off so there'd be a busy signal.
That's where Bepler made a mistake. The connection isn't broken until the calling party hangs up. Oh, your little girl all right?
Yes, officer.
Mommy.
It's all right, dear. You can come out now.
I can't turn the lock. It's stuck. I've locked it.
Oh, no. Oh,
Suspense.
You've been listening to Sleep is for Children, a story written for Suspense by Ralph Bell and Eugene Francis. In a moment, the names of our players and a word about next week's story of Suspense.
Are you all out of tune because you're irregular? Then help yourself get back in tune with Kellogg's All Brand. You'll feel right on pitch when Kellogg's All Brand goes gently to work. Relieves constipation due to lack of bulk by supplying your system with bulk-forming whole bran. Yes, a daily bowlful of Kellogg's All Bran with milk helps put you right back in tune. The natural way. The good-tasting way, too. Fact is, Kellogg's All Bran is the one brand cereal that combines proved effectiveness with appetizing taste and crispness. It never gets mushy in milk. So remember, if constipation's a problem, gentle it away, as millions do, with Kellogg's All Bran. The good food way to keep regular as clockwork. ALL-BRAN. Kellogg's All Bran. At your grocer's.
Heard in tonight's story were Elspeth Eric as Ellen Gordon, Ralph Bell as Walter Gordon, Bill Adams as Mr. Beppler, and Betty Gard as Rosa. Others in our cast were Ruth Tobin and Sarah Fussell. Listen again next week when we return with The Revolution by Peter Fernandez. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. Be sure to tune in next week and every week to Suspense on CBS Radio.
And now, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
When desperate men seek to overthrow a government, when a dictator is fighting to retain his power, death is the penalty for all the losers. Now, Revolution, written by Peter Fernandez.
Can you see him yet, Bob?
Now with all this crowd. There's a line of motorcycles right behind the band. That should mean he's almost here.
Oh, then get the camera ready.
Yeah, okay.
Pardon, senor. No pictures are to be taken.
Huh? What do you mean?
No pictures of the dictator are to be taken from this spot.
But that's ridiculous.
No pictures, no pictures. You understand?
Hey, where'd he go?
He just disappeared into the crowd.
Fine thing. We hold this spot for 2 hours just to see a real old-style dictator in the flesh, and some wise guy says no pictures.
Is he coming yet?
No, Sabrina. Let me see. There's a big open car. Yeah? Yeah, he's standing up and back, waving at everybody. There he is. There he is.
I see him. Oh, he's just the way he looks in the newsroom. Oh, Bob, we've got to get just one picture, and nobody will ever believe we really saw him.
You're sure our friend is gone?
I can't see him. Hurry, Bob.
Okay, here goes. Holy mackerel, someone just shot him. Turn my arm, let's get out of here.
Oh, no. Just a sec. Yes?
Good afternoon.
You. The man who told us we couldn't take the picture.
Where is your husband? Never mind, I can hear him in the shower.
What do you want?
You do not believe in obeying orders, Mr. Shelburne?
Orders? Of course I do.
But your husband went ahead and took a picture anyway.
Did he?
Where is the camera?
Who are you?
I will find it myself.
But now, just a minute. You can't go through our things. Bob!
Keep quiet.
Come out here.
I'm warning you.
I'm not dressed yet.
Well, put your robe on.
I told you to be still.
Let go of my arm. I'll call the police.
Okay. Okay, honey, now what is it? Hey, what are you doing here? Let go of my wife.
Very well, senor. Now, please give me your camera.
Now listen here, Max.
You listen.
A gun.
I said I want the camera. Now.
Sure, I'll get it.
No, I will get it. Where is it?
Hanging on a hook in the closet.
Huh? Yes. Thank you. Is the film still in here?
Sure, but...
Good. Now, let me give you a little advice, my dear Americanos. You better get out of this country as soon as possible.
Hey, just a minute. That's a valuable camera.
Is it? Then I'm sorry. But in the future, when someone tells you not to take pictures, do as you are told.
Hey, that camera's worth over $200. He can't get away with a thing like that. As soon as I get dressed, we're going to the police.
Yes, Senora. How can we help you?
We want to report that our camera was stolen.
Well, I am sorry we cannot help, but you see, our entire force is working on the attempted assassination of El Supremo.
Attempted assassination? Then he wasn't killed.
Fortunately, no. Could you come back and file the necessary report tomorrow?
That'd be impossible. So we're just here on our honeymoon. We're flying back to the States first thing in the morning.
Oh. Very well. You will have to see the Capitan, though he's busy enough. One moment, please.
Sure.
This is Garcia. I have some Americano touristas here who have a robbery to report. I know, Capitan, but they are very insistent. See? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. The Capitan is very busy, but he will take the time to see you. Please, go through those double doors over there, then down the corridor. His office is the last one on the right.
Thanks. Come on, Liz. Here we are. You go in first, honey.
Come in. Come in, my friends.
Go ahead, honey. Oh, so you are the police.
That's right. The police is me. Now, please, close the door after you.
Sure.
I'm very glad that you came here. Both of you.
Glad? Then you were going to return our camera after all?
Where is the film you exposed at the parade this afternoon?
You've already got that. It was in the camera when you grabbed it.
You are lying, Mr. Shelburne. The film was developed. Very nice pictures of you and your wife in front of some of our landmarks. But of the parade, of El Supremo and those near it, of the would-be assassins, nothing.
I don't understand.
I do. Clearly, you are trying to conceal the identity of the would-be assassins.
It's ridiculous.
For assassins, or those who protect them, there is only one penalty.
Look, we're not assassins. We're not anything. We're not even interested in your darn revolution. Look, we're on our honeymoon, that's all. And tomorrow morning, we're going home, and I go back to work at the office.
Tomorrow morning, senor, unless you give me the right film, you will be taken outside of the city and shot. El Soto and Rivera report to me immediately. However, my friends, you can walk out in freedom if you give me the photograph I want.
But if it wasn't in the camera, then it just doesn't exist.
Both I and one of my men saw you take the picture. Sergeant Rivera.
Yes, Capitan.
You will take one other man with you, a man we can trust. You will remove everything from the Shelburne's hotel room. Then, Sergeant Rivera, you will go to the desk and remove their registration card and any evidence of charges for room service. In short, you will make certain that there is no proof of the Shelburnes ever having stayed at the hotel.
Yes, sir.
Go and do it immediately.
Yes, sir. Immediately, Capitan.
Bob, we can't let them do that.
I don't know how we can stop them.
And you, Lieutenant Soto?
Yes, Capitan.
Lieutenant Soto, these people have behaved as enemies of El Supremo. If they give you any trouble, shoot them for resistance.
Yes, sir.
Now, take them away.
We'll talk with some of the other prisoners. We'll get word out to the American consulate somehow. You can't keep us quiet.
There will be no others to tell. No one is allowed near these sails. The Capitan's order.
doesn't make sense. Why would they want to kill us just for a photograph?
Could it be that they're afraid of the picture?
Afraid? Why would they be... Liz, that's it. They could have been in on the plot to kill the dictator.
That could be the reason, couldn't it?
I bet it is, sure. Why, they must be the would-be assassins.
Oh, Bob.
If we can just get word to somebody, anybody, let them know we're in here.
Oh, if we could give the captain the photograph he wants.
You don't believe we gave it to him?
Well, if we did, why hasn't he got it?
I don't know it. Unless...
What?
Oh, my God.
What is it, Bob?
I know what happened. Oh, Liz, and all that excitement. I forgot to take the cover off the lens.
Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. Liz, there is no photograph. We couldn't prove that the captain and his friends are the would-be assassins even if we wanted to.
Oh, we'll never be able to convince them that they're safe from us.
I know.
But if their revolution is successful, we've got a chance that they'll release us.
And if their revolution fails, well, they'll never accept the fact that there's no photograph, that we're not dangerous to them.
Put your arms around me.
Sure, honey. Sure. That better?
I'm afraid.
There's no reason to be, honey. We'll get out of here.
You can't fool me, darling. You're scared, too.
Yes. Yes, I am.
In just a moment, we will return for the second act of Suspense.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips.
And since Fritos corn chips are fresh as spring itself, it seemed appropriate to give you a springtime gift. So Fritos have attached a free package of flower seeds on their large bags as their salute to spring. There's nothing for you to mail in. Just buy a large bag of Fritos, and there, right in the bag, is your free package of flower seeds. They're the finest seeds you could get anywhere. Genuine burpee seeds, and there are 3 varieties. Beautiful zinnias, snapdragons, or petunias. Get yours while they last. Free flower seeds on the large bags of Fritos corn chips.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips. It's not polite to smack your lips, but you can't help it with Fritos corn chips. Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips.
Yeah, it's him, the captain himself.
Everything has been removed from your hotel, my friends. There is no record of you ever having been there.
What about the revolution?
Revolution? It's just about over.
And who's in power?
Our dictator, El Supremo, has retained his power.
Bob.
I see.
The film was not in your hotel. Senor, this is your last chance to be truthful. Your life depends on the truth.
I know, Captain. I swear to you, I didn't take any picture this afternoon.
If I could believe you...
In all that excitement, I forgot to take the cover off my lens.
What you say is possible, senor. Very possible. If you fail to expose the film, you may be able to tell me what number picture it might have been on the roll if you had exposed.
How could I remember a thing like that?
We have a truck parked behind this building. It's waiting to take you and your wife and everything you left in the hotel to a rendezvous in the mountains. There you will be disposed of. Try to remember.
Let me think. The picture that didn't come out would have been number 9.
You are certain?
How can I be absolutely certain? I think it was number 9.
Perhaps it could be that you're telling the truth. I shall have to check the number of exposures. Perhaps you will be able to leave in the morning after. You see for yourself, Lieutenant. It is as the Americana claims. 8 exposed negatives. The 9th, and all the ones after it. Not exposed.
So the picture was never taken, Capitan?
That is right. So we will be able to release the Americanos after all.
Capitan Santos.
Yes.
That will not be possible.
What? What are you saying?
The Americanos know why we wanted the film.
Are you certain?
The block cell in which we're holding them, it is for political prisoners, no? You remember the security office had it wired only a few months ago?
I remember.
I've just monitored a tape recording of all conversations held in that cell since the Americanos were put in there. I have it on the machine. I will play a small portion of it. Now listen.
Afraid? Why would they be... Liz, that's it. They could have been in on the plot to kill the dictator.
That could be the reason, couldn't it?
I'll bet it is. Sure, why, they must be the would-be assassins.
Wow.
If we can just get word to somebody, anybody.
Enough. Shut it off.
They would not have to prove that we tried to kill El Supremo. They would not need the photograph to hurt us. Just to throw suspicion on us would be enough.
I know. Lieutenant.
Yes, sir?
Unfortunately, I will be detained here with emergency duties. You and Sergeant Rivera, get them and all their things from the hotel into the truck. Take them to the mountains.
I understand.
There must be no trace, no mistakes. My life and yours depend on how carefully and thoroughly you get rid of them.
In just a moment, we will return for the concluding act of Suspense.
Here's Hollywood star Mona Freeman.
Who feels like acting with a miserable cold? I relieve cold distress the fast way with 4-way cold tablets.
Yes, tests of all the leading cold tablets proved 4-way fastest acting. Amazing 4-way starts in minutes to relieve muscular pains and headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
When a cold strikes, do what I do. Take 4-way cold tablet. It's the fast way to relieve nasty cold distress and feel better quickly.
4-way, only 29 cents.
You're going to free us?
And the captain knows the picture never turned out.
Yes, the Capitan knows. This way, please. We have a vehicle waiting.
Oh, don't go to any trouble. We'll be only too glad to take a taxi instead.
No trouble, I assure you. The vehicle is just outside his door. Here we are.
Bob! That's a prison van. Hey, wait a minute.
Get in, both of you.
No.
Get in or I will shoot you right here.
You had no intention to let us go.
No. You know who we are and what we attempted. Get in the truck.
Oh.
Now, get in. That's better. Now you, Senora.
Yes.
I will sit here in the back with you. All right, Rivera. Let us go. We're out at headquarters now. I warn you, if I shoot now, anyone who hears Miller will think the truck has backfired.
Look, Lieutenant. Why don't you let my wife go?
No, Bob.
Hush, Liz. But you can hold me as a hostage. As long as you've got me, you know she won't talk to anyone outside.
Why should I bargain? By destroying all evidence of your existence, I ensure my own safety. You have nothing to offer.
If the dictator learns that you're one of the men who plotted to kill him, what then?
He will kill me.
And how would he treat a man he finds is very loyal to him?
The man would receive recognition. He would be honored. But El Supremo has his favorites. There's no chance for others.
Isn't there? How would the dictator reward the man who tells him about the captain and the rest of the traitors?
You talk too much.
Alone, Bob.
Our only chance. Now listen, Lieutenant. What about you?
Be still, senor.
Aren't you ambitious? And now that El Supremo is going to stay in power, he'd like to know who his would-be assassins are. And the man who tells him, he'll be honored, promoted.
Shut your filthy mouth.
Okay, Lieutenant. But you think about it. Before you pull the trigger of that gun and kill us.
We're almost there. Rivera will be driving through the gates to the farm in a moment.
Oh, how about it, Lieutenant? You can open that little window to the cab and make your friend turn his truck around. We'll vouch for you. We'll tell the authorities how you saved our lives.
Am I to betray my friends? What you ask is too much.
Oh, look, you've betrayed your country. What are a few friends now?
We've reached the farm. A few moments. Senor and senora?
What makes you so sure your friends will betray you by going and telling El Supremo the truth? Don't they want honor, promotions, to save their own skins? Are you going to be a sucker for them?
I cannot.
What do you want, Lieutenant? To be a captain? To be head of the whole police force? Or for the man that turns in the would-be assassins, who becomes a friend of the dictator? Anything is possible, isn't it?
Yes, anything. The temptation you have tempted me beyond. Rivera, turn the truck around. We're going back.
What do you mean? We must kill them first?
We're not going to kill them.
But the Captain gave us orders to dispose of
We're
it.
going back. I'm giving the orders now. Turn the truck.
You shoot me?
I will shoot you this instant. Start the truck.
Yes.
Now, back to the city.
Yes.
Chance. But that driver's going to look for any opportunity to take care of the lieutenant and us.
We will go directly to El Supremo's headquarters. We will tell him what I have done for you, and I will reveal to him the names of the men he wants. You knew my weakness, senor. We saved your life. What are we stopping for? Go on.
We're at the gates again, but we are being blocked.
What do you mean?
2 of our cars have pulled in. Look.
If this is a trick...
I swear to you, they are all around us, and there is Capitan Santos.
What? I'm sorry, my friends, but if this is true, I will have to follow the Capitan's orders after all and shoot you. I will not risk my own life.
Open this truck.
I warn you, one wrong move and it will all be over.
Isn't there another way onto the road?
It's too late. Here they are, Capitan. We merely were looking for a suitable place in which to kill them.
Drop your gun, Lieutenant, or I will use this machine gun.
Huh?
Oh, did you hear?
Quick, get down on the floor.
Drop your gun, Lieutenant, and get out of that truck.
I do not understand. Very well.
Now get down.
Yes, sir.
Are the Americana safe?
Yes, but if you give me only a moment more, I will take care of them.
Is that so, Lieutenant? All right, men. Take this traitor away.
Traitor? What are you talking about?
I already have been in touch with El Supremo. They gave me orders to arrest and execute you and Rivera and the others who tried to kill him.
Me and Rivera? But what about
yes, you? Speak out of here.
No, I know what you're trying to do. You cannot. No, let go of me. No.
All right, my friends. We will take care of him.
You mean you're not going to try to get rid of us? Shoot us?
Perhaps that was the plan of those traitors. They will be punished, you may be sure.
Is this some kind of trick?
Trick, senor? Oh, no, it's no trick. I and some of my men who are loyal to El Supremo merely have come to rescue you. I am grateful that we have succeeded.
Yeah, I'll bet you are. It'll mean recognition. A promotion, won't it, Captain?
Perhaps, if I am lucky. At any rate, El Supremo will be very pleased with my work tonight. Come, both of you may ride back to your hotel in my car.
Thanks. Thanks very much.
Oh, I can hardly believe it.
You will find that everything has been put back in order in your hotel room, and that your camera has been returned to you.
Thanks again. That's all I really came to you about, isn't it?
You will be able to catch your plane in the morning after all.
Thank goodness.
And let me give you some good advice, senor. Never come back to this country. You understand?
Don't worry. I understand. Come on, Liz.
Suspense. You've been listening to The Revolution, written for Suspense by Peter Fernandez. In a moment, the names of our players and a word about next week's story of Suspense.
Out of tune because of irregularity? Kellogg's All Bran helps put you back in tune. Kellogg's All Bran is the natural way, the good food way to end constipation caused by lack of bulk in your diet. There's only one All Bran, Kellogg's All Bran. Its whole bran content gentles away constipation, supplies your system with the bulk-forming food you need. Kellogg's All Bran is the only whole bran cereal to bring you the combination of proved effectiveness, appetizing taste, and crispness. It never gets mushy in milk. So get back in tune and stay in tune. It's easy with the one and only Kellogg's All Bran, ALL-BRAN. Safe, reliable, pleasant. Millions enjoy it every day. They know they can count on Kellogg's All Brand to relieve irregularity.
Heard in tonight's story were Rosemary Rice as Elizabeth, Bill Meader as Bob, and Santos Ortega as Captain Santos. Others in the cast included Jim Bowles, Ronald Dawson, and Ralph Camargo. Listen again next week when we return with Talk About Caruso by Milton Geiger. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.